Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. The Cleveland Cavaliers took a 3-2 lead in their series with the Detroit Pistons following a 117-113 overtime win last night. James Harden led the way with 30 points. Game 6 is tomorrow night at 7 in Cleveland. The Cleveland Guardians completed the sweep of the Los Angeles Angels, winning 4-2. Angel Martinez with a homer. Parker Messick gets the win. The Cincinnati Reds lost a tough one in extras to the Washington Nationals 8-7. Spencer Steer's apparent home run that would have tied the game in the 10th was ruled a ground rule double due to fan interference. The Colorado Avalanche advanced, beating the Minnesota Wild 4-3 in overtime. And the 100th PGA Championship is underway at Aronimink outside of Philadelphia. The final mooring pairings teeing off right now. This one's sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for metal. Visit Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com or 2180 Wilson Road for all your metal needs.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy.
Good buddy, Austin Ward.
My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show.
The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
and
then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
Let's go live on a Thursday edition of the program, appropriately loaded up. Coach Day on some changes he'd like to see in college football coming up at 9:30. 10 o'clock, we're going to fix it. And are we Team Sankey? My God, don't let the SEC folks hear me saying that. We might be, though. Paul Finebaum going to join at 10:30. Your emails will come this week at 11 o'clock. Keep you updated on the PGA Championship, which is underway as well. Bake is here. The governor, Joshua Perry, is here as well. Gray sleeves are back. We lamented this. We celebrated this yesterday. JP, I was curious, when you guys got those in 14, were you aware of what they were?
Of course I was. Absolutely. And I loved them. They're phenomenal.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Who wouldn't? I mean, it's nice to have one of the school colors on the home jersey. It tends to be a positive thing.
Yeah, you feel like it makes a lot of sense, right? And I've actually got a whole diatribe about uniforms in today's era, but
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
Here's the yours. Thing. So I'm watching last night, right? Watching the Cavaliers and the Pistons play.
Yep.
And I'm thinking back to Grant Hill, Detroit, and what those uniforms looked like, and what uniforms in general, just what they looked like. They were fun. They had personality. There was.
You mean
color.
the ones with the horse?
Yeah, I mean all that stuff
that the Pistons had. Just
yes.
because. All right. Go ahead.
Just for that context, right?
Yeah.
The uniforms made you feel something, and I feel like anymore today, they don't make you feel that much. There's not a lot of emotion when you look at the actual jersey. And for me, to get the sleeves right on the Ohio State jersey makes you feel something. And so more than anything else, I'm just happy for that reason alone.
You know, what you just did there is you've seen Mad Men, right?
I have not.
Oh God, you'd love it. You'd love it. You'd absolutely adore it. There's an incredible scene in it where Don Draper, who's the main character, played by John Hamm, he's pitching a Kodak carousel. And you're probably too young to even know what one of these things are. But I am not. I'm plenty old. Bake is plenty old. So it was literally a slideshow. It was a physical slideshow that you would go and take pictures on your camera, and you would come back. This is like in the 50s and 60s when it launched, and you'd come back, and then you'd go to Kodak, and they develop onto slides, and then you would put them in this thing called the carousel, and you would be able to show people this was our summer vacation. So we weren't able. You're not going on Instagram. You're not going on Facebook. None of that. You're not texting folks. Nothing. Like, this was your way of saying this was our summer vacation and your way of reliving your youth. I remember at holidays, my grandma would bring one out, and she would go through like pictures of my dad when he was a little kid on this thing, and this was a very part of life. And in this pitch, and this won't ruin the series for you if you decide to watch it. And I do think you'd love it intellectually. I think it'd be incredibly stimulating for you. It was for me. You and I have very similar sensibilities, and there is a scene where he's pitching this to Kodak, his pitch, and he uses the word. He goes, "It's nostalgia." He goes, "It's potent." And what you just did there with the Grant Hill uniforms is nostalgia. Mm-hmm. That's nostalgia. I would say that from when you said the Grant Hill uniforms, I remember thinking this when they put them on them. My God, they've wrecked the Pistons. Because my nostalgia for the Detroit Pistons are the uniforms they wear now.
Right.
Because those are the uniforms that Isaiah Thomas wore and Joe Dumars wore when they won championships. So when I saw like the horse on the front and the teal, I was like, my God, what have they done to the Detroit Pistons? But for you, because I'm a generation older than you, for you, that hit home. And so where I am kind of with all of this uniform stuff is the stuff that when we were kids, when our formidable age, that was the stuff that hits for us. Like this NFL right now is hitting in my sweet spot. Like the Buccaneers and creamsicles, the Seahawks in the royal blue with the silver hats. Like all of that stuff hits my youth. Those are what they wore in my youth. That next generation, though, that's where you get like the Raptors with the T-Rex on the front.
Yes.
And all right. And my kids, by the way, love that Raptors one. I remember when they dropped it, I was like, this is insane. We just have a giant dinosaur on the front of a jersey? This is crazy. But for you, that hits your sweet spot. And that's the thing that, to bring this full circle to the Buckeyes silver on the sleeves, that's the thing that these hit so perfectly. And I'm pretty sure that they stopped wearing them in 2005. Mm-hmm. Bob was the last group to wear them. I don't think that they brought them out again until you wore them in 2014 against Bama.
That feels right.
I think it was 9 years without them. And I remember going, because that was part of like a diamond. It was the first playoff. I can't remember. Yes. I know you guys had like a diamond on the Nike, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that was like the first one where it was like, oh my God, they're going to wear these things. And then the rest is history. And I remember even talking to some of you guys in the interview in the lead up to the Alabama. And I always find you and Tyvis were the two guys I always went to right away. But like, were you guys aware in the moment of how special it was to get those back and what it meant to the fan base to get them back?
Well, Tyvis and I too that's what we grew up on. That's what we watched.
Exactly.
So for us, it was
nostalgia again. Yeah,
it was huge. For some of the other guys, JT, who was hurt during that run, but a guy from Texas, it might not have felt the same. But for us, it was like, oh my God, absolutely yes. Now, the one thing that I didn't like about those jerseys was the number on the sleeve was black,
which was a nod to 68.
Yes.
Right, Bake? It was a 68 nod.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't love that, but the gray on the sleeves, I was never going to complain.
Yeah, these have been just universally applauded for 24 hours. Like I said, I think the only mistake they made was not dropping these first, because this was what people wanted, and then drop the black one after.
It was a soft launch.
Yeah, when they dropped the black one first, a lot of folks were like, well, what? Yeah, but what about the other ones? And so, like, just the rollout, I probably would have done it a little different. And then the other thing I thought was, if you're going to roll these out, you better make them available right now.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to buy them right now. If they're dropping them, and you can't buy them until July. But it's a beautiful thing.
I'll tell you the issue real quick with rolling out with the black first too was everybody's like, oh, so we're gonna wear those at noon? You got the black uniforms that we can only wear at noon because we don't play at night. So that to me was
set
probably
all that off.
Yeah, the bigger issue than rolling out the black first is that you don't have a night game to wear them in.
It's kind of like when that started happening about, then it all of a sudden, so they were like pissed off or they were confused that they did have the red one and the white one first, and then it was like, you're right, it went right into, well, where are we going to wear these? What do you wear them at noon? And it reminded me, we were talking last week on Wedding Crashers when the secretary goes over to Todd after Vince Vaughn gets hurt in the touch game. Hey Todd, a game of touch wouldn't hurt, and Todd goes, would that make you love me, Dad? And he goes, jeez. Like, that's how it was with all the new kids. Jeez, okay. We'll just solve one problem at a time. We got Gray back on the uniforms. We'll work on night games in a minute, is kind of the way that I was with that.
Amazing.
Never make everyone happy.
No.
No, they're absolutely gorgeous, and it looks right, and so I think whoever's responsible for all of it, it's been so fun to catch up with. I mean, I was texting with Bob and Threes and Dustin Fox, like all of these people that I've talked about this with for like 20 years. I mean, for 20 years I've been talking about this.
It's a long campaign.
It has been, dude. Well, first of all, I'm getting old, but yeah, I mean, we've wanted this for a long time, and so they're finally back, and that is a very, very positive thing. We're off and running at the PGA Championship at Aronimink. We will keep you updated on that as the program goes along. JP mentioned it, the Cavs with an incredible second half and an incredible dramatic finish in Detroit, kind of take a little bit of control of that series. We will get into that, and I'm dealing with something that is a big problem, and I have an example of it coming up next. We're off and running on a Thursday edition, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Some choose the fast way, others choose the easy way, but you do things the right way. That's why professionals and homeowners trust Boss Brothers Power Equipment, your source for Exmark mowers. Engineered to deliver the world's finest zero-turn mowers with a legendary quality of cut, durability that lasts for generations, and an experience that feels like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Visit Boss Brothers Power Equipment with locations in Powell, Sunbury, and Marysville, and find the Exmark mower built for you. Boss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a partly sunny day today and cool with breezy winds and temperatures in the mid to low 60s. Skies turn mostly clear tonight as lows plunge into the upper 30s to low 40s, but we end the work week mostly sunny and it will be a tad warmer as our daytime highs get into the low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And join us for the Fan 5K presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. It's the 5K run, 1 mile walk. It's happening Saturday, July 20th. Otterbein. Some of your favorite fan personalities will be there. Brother Bowen will be there. Nephew Tyvus, Man, Timmy, Reese. Adam King will be there. Nicole Sheeran. They put King in here as if that's some sort of a thing to make people want to be a part of it, which I would just do Nicole, put the emphasis on Nicole, leave him out, and then you'd be all right. That just a little critique. Every participant gets a finisher's medal, a race shirt, free photos, and some awesome gifts from Logan Services. The Fan 5K is presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. Sign up today at 971therace.com. I have not talked about this on air, but Bake, you will recall, great Joshua Perry in with us today, you will recall when I missed 3 consecutive shows in February. I think it was February with illness. I'd never missed 3 consecutive days of work since I got mononucleosis at a welding company, and when I was going into my freshman year of college, and my dad was trying to tell me that working on the farm wasn't as hard as other jobs. That was the only time I missed that amount of work. And so I did the COVID test. That came back negative, and the diagnosis was that I had flu B. And it took me out, like missed 3 days of work. I was sick for quite a while. And one of the things that has happened as a byproduct of this is I have limited sense of smell and taste. So I can taste some things like I used to, but I can't have like layered flavors I can't taste. Some things I can't taste at all. A lot of things I can't smell at all. A lot of things that shouldn't smell similarly do to me. An example, coffee, peanut butter, and feces all smell the same. So
Good or
like
bad?
No, indifferent.
Okay.
So like no names, please. But one of the boys plugged a toilet, and I went in to go fix it, and I didn't smell anything.
It seems
unpleasant.
like a positive.
Yeah.
Right, but then also when you're trying to, yes, in that one instance, it's coming back aces. So yesterday, this is 2 days ago, I was making a salad for lunch, and we had some organic turkey in the refrigerator that I was going to throw on it, little protein, and away we go. So I pull it out of the bag, and I'm touching it, and it seems like it's fine, and so I start throwing it on, and then, I took a bite. I took a bite of it, and I can't really taste it. It tasted as normal to me as it could be, and I'm starting to put it on, and my wife comes in, and she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm putting turkey on a salad. What do you mean, what am I doing? And she goes, "Let me smell that." And she grabbed the sack that the turkey was in, smelled it, almost vomited. I'm eating rotten turkey. Now, my gut health must be good enough that it didn't cause a debacle. Like, it wasn't a debacle. Like, I didn't get sick. But this is a real problem.
Yeah.
It's a real problem. She's like, well, hold on. Like, she asked for, I made like steak and crab legs and stuff for Mom's Day. And she's like, "Can you taste that?" And I'm like, "I can taste the salt, but I can't taste like the layers of all of it." It's the damnedest thing. I suppose I could use it for good. I have no idea if it'll ever come back. I've talked to people about it, and they're like, well, I mean, this can take a year or two. Sometimes it never comes back. Someone was telling me I got to do like smell training like with like lemons and rosemary and stuff like that. And I have to put it like right next to my nose to be able to differentiate. I can't smell perfume, cologne, none of that. None of that at all. It's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing I've ever been through.
Feels hazardous.
And it's been it does feel. Tell me about it, brother. I mean, I'm eating rotten turkey.
Well, the other part though, like you could be funky and you wouldn't even know it. Like you could have a little BO and just like you think whatever.
You're exactly right. The only thing I got going for on that front is I'm a man, I'm 40, and I've been doing things for a long time that prevent those type of things. And I think I have a pretty good system in place to make sure that those things don't happen. But I have had to say that to my wife. Like, I'm like, well, you have to tell me, like, if I have bad breath or something, and I try to do all of those things right. But if I do, you got to let me know because I can't smell it. I can't taste it.
Wow. Well, you should come over and change diapers for me.
It wouldn't even affect.
No.
It wouldn't even affect me. I'd blow right through it.
Jeez.
How about when you go from Mama's Milk or formula, however you start them? We were all Mama's Milk. So, but when you go from that to the first time, because really when it's that, the diapers aren't anything. It's no big deal. But then when you start giving them food, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now it smells like mine.
Yeah.
And now we got a problem because it's coming out of you.
Yes. Awful. And we got two of them like that because James refuses. He loves talking about the potty, but he refuses to actually do anything with it. And so I've just got like this massive 2-year-old running around and dropping deuces. And then he'll be like, Daddy, I pooped. Okay. Thank you for telling me.
He's calling you daddy again.
Yeah.
That's nice. As opposed to Joshua.
Oh, we're good. I'm back in good graces with the kid. Yeah, but
well, you know how I potty trained my oldest. I've told you this story, haven't I?
I don't think so.
Zeke.
Really?
Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah. So he loved Zeke's freshman year. I just think he liked saying it.
Sure.
So he was 2, and he just liked saying Zeke, like loved him. So I said, I tell you what, dude, you go on the big boy potty, I'll get you an Ezekiel Elliott jersey. Now, I made this promise without knowing if I could actually ascertain an Ezekiel Elliott jersey because he was a freshman, right? So a little bit tough to come by. You guys didn't have jerseys for everybody in those days. And so that was like his motivation. So every time he did it, and then when we went to a game, I took him down on the field and Zeke came over. He's like, you can do it, buddy. Like, gave him a little fist bump. I always was thankful for Zeke for how he was with all of that. And so he did. And Fanatics had like at that time had like a backlog of like old Ohio State stuff that they were just trying to get rid of. Like, I'm convinced it's a D. Miller, my man. I don't know where the 15 came from, but it was a backlogged one. They actually had some old like Diebler ones from some 33s. Anyway, long story short, I found one. I found a 15 Zeke. And so when he figured out how to go on the big boy potty, and I recorded it on my phone, and he goes nuts, like as a little kid, like it's Ezekiel Elliott jersey or whatever. And so that we use that as motivation. Well, it went viral, and it was actually on SportsCenter. ESPN called me at Channel 10, and they're like, "Can we use your video?"
That's amazing.
And Lindsay Zarniak was hosting SportsCenter. She was doing it solo at that time, and it was the last thing on SportsCenter was this. And the funny thing about it is it was right at the height of like Billis talking about how college athletes should get paid. And the next thing was Billis coming on, and no, he did it on social. He goes, "Oh yeah, but nobody knows who a 15 jersey's for." Was like his thing, because remember in those days we couldn't. It was just 15. It couldn't have a name on it.
Sure.
Because that was how they got around it. So they did like number 1 in the year. And so he's like, oh, yeah, none of that. So he really had a moment when he was like 2 or 3 years old, whatever that was. But I used Zeke to potty train him. And I always thank Zeke for that. He was very cool about it.
Yeah.
Little fist bumps and everything. So that you just got to, what is something he loves, withhold it. And then if you do this, you get it.
Hal the handyman.
Take it away.
Yeah.
Take it away.
All right.
Take it away. And then you do this, we're on it. Is that like a Disney show that the kids are watching?
It's a YouTube thing. This guy rides lawnmowers and tractors and anything mechanical. My kid loves anything that has motors and wheels. He loves cars. He loves lawnmowers. He loves trucks.
That's cool.
Heavy machinery. And so he watches this guy on YouTube just tinker around with this stuff. And it's actually amazing. But yeah.
What if we do like, if you do this, motorized backhoe for you?
I mean,
like a ride-on backhoe.
I mean,
are we getting somewhere?
We might be
motorized, like a ride on dump truck.
We might be. He's got a little like mini golf cart, and he loves that. But he wants like a tractor. We went to
now we're talking.
Went to this guy's farm and we were riding horses, and he got on the horse and was cool. But he saw the tractor and just wanted to ride on the tractor for the rest of the day.
I think
like me.
I think maybe get Uncle Tyvus to dress up like Hal the Handyman. He goes on the potty. Uncle Tyvus walks in.
Who loses?
Couple tractors.
He loves watching Uncle Ty in the morning. When he wakes up, that YouTube stream has got to be on so he can see his Uncle Ty. It's the cutest thing in the world.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that is very, very cool. Cool that the Cavs won last night as well. 117-113. They were down 5 with 1:20 to go in the game, and didn't think it was going to happen, and then they did. And it was crazy at the end, chaotic at the end. They couldn't get a shot off in regulation, but they were able to win it in overtime. They should. They're the veteran team. They've knocked on this door long enough, and now they have really stranglehold on the series with it returning to Cleveland for Game 6 on Friday. And guys, I've said this all along, Bake, you know this. All I want is them to get to an Eastern Conference final, and I just want them against the Knicks. I just want those two home atmospheres going head-to-head. That's all I want.
It would be pretty amazing. Like Friday, I can't imagine what that atmosphere is going to be like, and certainly feels like they've got to win that game. I don't want to see it go back to Detroit, but I give them credit on a night where Donovan wasn't shooting the best. Like they had other guys step up, and they ended up shooting it really well in the second half to close that gap there. But I'd love to see them close it out. I'm so finicky with this team. When they start to bother me, I just cut the TV off. And I almost got there yesterday, but I'm like, I need to see this through because, of course, I'm working in the morning, and I'm glad I did because that was a hell of an ending for them.
It was, and I think they're really tough to watch. I don't think they're very good. Bake, I did make another wager with NBC.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the last one didn't go well. He got a set of golf clubs and stock and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, good for him.
You don't know this?
We got a lot of catching up to
do. The Carolina Panthers were like, I don't know, what were they, like 1-4 or something? He's like, the Panthers are going to make the playoffs. And I said, they're not making the playoffs. I said, I'll bet you $100 they're not making the playoffs. He goes, done. And I go, oh, no, it started with... No. It started with somebody. He goes, Dad, somebody skied down Mount Everest. And I said, nobody skied down Mount Everest. It's impossible. You can't do it. No chance. And he goes, I'll bet you $100. And I said, done. $100. Easy. So then he pulls it up. Somebody with, the Red Bull guys with like oxygen tanks skied down Everest apparently. And I'm like, oh, I'm unaware of that. Okay, I owe you $100. Well, then I'm thinking to myself, well, I got to get it back somehow. So then I go, we ended up like double or nothing. And then it ended up being the Carolina Panthers will make the playoffs. And he took Carolina to make the playoffs. And I'm like, okay, finally. I'm not going to owe this punk anything. Well, then they did. So then I owed him $1,000. So I'm like, well, I'm not giving you $1,000. You're an idiot. So I'm going to do stock so that this grows for you. And then we'll do a set of golf clubs. So that's what we ended up doing. So in an effort to get him back, he's taking the Cavaliers. He's running his mouth about the Cavaliers.
Okay.
And I said, I'll take OKC. You take the Cavaliers. Let's go. $100. He goes, done, easy. I'm going, God, come on, let's have some sanity. Now I'm in the situation of rooting against the Cavs, though, which I'm not crazy about.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty safe that one will pay off with OKC. So hopefully we get at least an Eastern Conference final out of these Cavs.
Did you let him pick the stock?
Yeah. He invests anyway. He has like a card business that he sold a bunch of cards.
Like the trading cards.
Yeah.
That's what these kids are on right now.
No, he's made a ton of money doing it. I don't even know what he's doing. Like my wife just packs things up in cardboard boxes and ships them all over the country. And so he's built a nice little nest egg, but instead of spending it on more stuff, I have him invest. So he's picked his stock and he's got a little investment portfolio.
I love that for him.
He's working with. Yeah, it's cool. Needless to say, I wasn't getting this type of financial advice on the Ponderosa. Coming up in 2 minutes, Ryan Day on changes he'd like to see in college football. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued, Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate, or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to speak up, or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a Thursday. I had a little fun with this yesterday with Coach Day. Extended interview with Josh Pate. And when you are able to do that, and good for Coach Day and good for Josh for making it happen, but to be able to sit down with an hour, 45 minutes, and get a long-form conversation happening, that's when you really start to get some ideas moving a little bit. And there's a lot of good stuff from this with these two. The one thing that I think is really interesting, and I want to have the conversation with both of you on, is the third one here, Bake, where he talks about kids committing to 2 years.
If you're looking at the player who comes in at mid-year now, there's a lot. Their season gets done, like you said, they jump right into spring ball. They have this season, and during that freshman season, typically they're not playing as much as they'd like. They're going through challenges. They're failing, but that's part of being a freshman. You got to fail. You got to fail to learn. That's how it works. And so there's all these expectations in recruiting. And then when their freshman year doesn't go exactly the way they want, they get done in December and January. And there's no cooling off phase right there. It's emotional. It's raw. So to me, the ability to say, okay, I'm going to go somewhere for 2 years. I make a 2-year commitment. Obviously, there are extenuating circumstances, a coaching change or something like that. But that allows them to, okay, I come in, I work in the spring, I go through my freshman year, I go through another spring, I go through my sophomore year, and now I'm in a different place than I would have been before. And I think the mindset of saying, I'm somewhere for 2 years. Like I'm not going to come up for a year and try to reassess this again. Plus, I just think overall it's good for their overall mental health, knowing that I'm somewhere for 2 years, and I know I have to push through adversity along the way, and I got to grow. And for a lot of us that went through that, where you had 4 years, like transferring wasn't an option. You had to figure it out. That's a healthy thing.
I think most people would like or love the sound of that. This is what I will pose to you guys. Can you do this without contracts, i.e., can you do this without just making them employees?
I mean, probably not, right? Like, I think you would like to do it. I don't think you can make anybody do anything without contract. I think the two things that you would hope is, number one, these are high school kids he's talking about. So you still have all that time to get to know them and to get to know their families and to vet them. So you're anticipating that you're picking the personality of a player that would give it the 2 years and see it through and try to learn and try to develop. And then if it doesn't work, they can leave. The other factor in this, and again, like this is going to be the one that people don't want to hear, you also got to incentivize them to want to stay for a couple years without playing, and that might mean putting a little bit more money in their check so they're not looking around at some of the other offers. Like that's a big reason why guys are hopping in the portal and they're ready to go. Somebody's saying, hey, you'll play right now and we'll give you more money. And it might not be the best thing for their career, but in the moment, you're like, yep, that sounds like a great deal. I'm going to take it.
It's so hard to make this stick, and this is probably right. Like, this is probably how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard when the everyday student can just come and go how they please.
Yeah.
Now, the everyday student, chances are, also isn't getting their education taken care of and paid for.
Some
and
are.
Getting money. Some are, but it's almost like the Mylan Graham Quincy Porter situation.
Mm-hmm.
They come here, they are expecting to play, but then you've got Jeremiah and Brandon Ennis, and you've got this star coming in and Chris Henry. So Ohio State makes decisions on who they're going to pay. And those two guys head off to literal greener pastures. Maybe not for them being developed as a wide receiver, and maybe it's not the best in the long run for them. But right now, when they're seeing whatever that number was, and it's higher, they're going to go get that and maybe have an opportunity to play more. So it's so difficult to do it without, as you said, Bo, making them employees.
That fixes it. I mean, it just does. It allows for contracts. It allows for it. I think everything Ryan Day says most people would be for. One thing that I think is a real big problem, Joshua, is what you just mentioned there, which is if you are Big State U and you have, I mean, let's just use our guys as an example. So let's say Peyton Pierce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's use the linebacker room, your room. Peyton Pierce is ready to explode. Like, he's put in his time. He's going to start. He's going to be a stud. He was really good last year in limited time. Not limited. He played quite a bit, but
right.
He was behind the two that were first-round picks. And it's his time to go. Well, let's say you've got a freshman linebacker coming in who's a five-star kid. And he said, well, I'm being offered – these aren't real numbers, folks. Disclaimer, I'm just throwing numbers out for fun. So let's say Peyton Pierce is making $250,000 at Ohio State. Let's just use that as a number. And he's put in his time. He's in his third year. He's going to be a starter. He's going to be a dude. And you got a five-star kid saying, I need 500 to sign on the line, which is dotted. Now, theoretically, they're not supposed to talk, but we're not idiots. Of course, they're comparing receipts on everything, and they're talking. And because it's a sense of pride.
Right.
I got this. You got this. I got this. All of this stuff. So what do you do? What do you do? Because when you were talking about, like, all right, financially incentivize them to make sure they stay for 2 years, to what end?
Right. That's the challenge. That's exactly what I'm bringing up.
That's a massive problem, man.
Yeah,
I don't know how to fix that.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I think in a perfect world, you would be able to do all of those things. You would pick the right kids, and they would be happy with whatever you're paying them, and what you're paying them might be a little bit overvalued in the first couple years, but you're hoping that they develop and it's totally worth it. But we don't live in a perfect world, and that's just not how it happens. And by the way, Ohio State's never going to pay desperation wages to players. And these guys who haven't played are getting offered by schools who are desperate to get a player of that caliber in, and they're going to make much more than they would at Ohio State, because it's just not what the Buckeyes are. It's not how they have to operate. Right. So it creates a lot of challenges here.
A billion.
Yeah.
And I think the only way that, like, let's just take this rule for a second. And at 10 o'clock, we'll get into some rules that you can actually get done. And I think I think Ryan's heart is in the right place with this. And I think his motivation is the right place. And I think his reasoning is the right reasoning of, okay, just chill out. Develop for a year. It's rare you're Jeremiah Smith. You're going to get on the field to make an impact in year one. Let us develop you. Let's see how year two, let's get you into this spot and let's go a little bit. I think that checks every box. I think every coach in America would sign up for that. I think a lot of parents would sign up for that. I think kids probably would sign up for it too. You can't tell me a kid wants to move every year.
No.
You can't tell me that. There's certain circumstances where, God, this didn't go my way. I got to get the hell out of here. This coach isn't like the way that I saw it. And he talked about extenuating circumstances, right? Coaching change. Okay, fine. The only way you could administer something like this is if you had true alignment at the top of the sport. And if you had the big conferences that are going to make all of these decisions all get on the same page and say, hey, we are not going to get in the portal on true freshmen. We're not taking freshman portal kids. You have to be 2 years at a place before we're going to take you. And we're going to have a rule that you can't enter the portal until you're 2 years at a place. And you could do that if every conference did it. Now, you'd have to fend off litigation.
Sure would.
Because you're going to be in court, so you got to be ready to fight that court battle. But if you came up with something where there was some sort of hard and fast rule, maybe that's a chance at it. But it's so uphill, despite Ryan having, I think, great intention.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, the world is completely different. But this idea of you got to wait a little bit is how the whole old world was, right? Like when I got recruited by Tress's staff before Urban got there, it was almost a guarantee that you were going to redshirt as a freshman. It's just what he did, right? Like there were some guys who ended up playing, but a lot of guys took that redshirt year, they learned, they developed, and then if you played after that, you played after that. Urban would have guys who were on the shelf for 2 whole years developing, play for 1, and become a first-round pick. And I think that's the model of development that he wants to see. But it's hard to mesh that with the current landscape of how the sport actually works.
It really is. And one of the things there are several things that are really fixable. The calendar is certainly one of them. And then the overall health of the sport. And we'll get into that here over the next half hour or so, leading into Mr. Finebaum coming up at 10:30. College football week 1 slate is out for the most part. Not a lot of bangers out of the gates. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation. Guess which store is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and you'll get up to $180 off sets of Goodyear tires. Okay, here's a hint.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
As the saying goes, trust is earned, never given. When it comes to your roof, who you trust truly matters. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a business. We're a local, family-owned company built on honesty, integrity, and hard work. From the very beginning, these core values have shaped the way we do business, ensuring a customer experience that's second to none. Our dedication to quality has earned us the trust of thousands of homeowners across Central Ohio. At Newman Roofing, excellence isn't just a word, it's our promise to you. From the moment we step foot on your doorstep to the final handshake, we strive to deliver an experience that keeps you calling back for more. Whether you need a roof repair or a full replacement, our team at Newman Roofing is here to protect what matters most. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. So give us a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan. The Fan is headed to the Memorial. Are you ready for 30 hours of live coverage? Oh, it's true, baby.
Sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. TheWaterworks.com.
The best Memorial coverage, The Fan.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones, and all on the T-Mobile network.
How about we go to Metro today?
Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Not available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we put new windows in a Dublin home last week. You wouldn't believe how much new light was let in. Changed the entire mood of the home.
You don't need fancy windows to change the mood of a room, Leslie. Know what else will do that? Wilson's Wicks, my new candle line. Here, smell this one.
Oh, that's bad.
I call it warm tuna salad. It's not for everyone.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Reese's mustache is so nice, it has its own area code. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Joshua, as you know, one of my... and we're going to get into this in greater detail here in about 13 minutes, but one of the things where I'm kind of at with all of this is let's just fix the things we can fix. Let's not try to fix all that ails us in one thing, because then it gets overwhelming. Let's just try to fix the things that we can. And one of the things that we can fix is the calendar, and week 1 becoming week 0 and all of those things, and we can get into that at greater detail. But one of the things that I always loved about the way college, and one of the sacrifices of this would be, is if you do that, then you're losing that Labor Day weekend launch. Mm-hmm. And college football has done such a spectacular job in recent years of playing some incredible hits week 1. You think about Alabama, Florida State for years. LSU played Clemson. I think they play them again this year. We played Texas last year, week 1. I wish this year we played Texas in week 1. We don't. It's week 2 this year. I was looking, the upfronts are going on right now, and that's how we know the kick times for Ohio State, Michigan, and the other games that we know that are out there. We know that Ohio State, Oregon is not going to be a night game because you guys are going to have Notre Dame and Miami on NBC, and so we know it's not going to be a night game, but we don't know necessarily that it's going to be noon and so forth, because upfronts are going on, and they're selling the sports first and foremost because it's the last thing that we all watch together as a society with big numbers. I was looking at the week 1 slate. It leaves a lot to be desired.
Yep.
I think I know why. I mean, just in terms of like headliners, there's not much here. I think the best games from that first weekend are probably going head to head. Clemson plays LSU on Saturday night. That's a game in Tiger Stadium. And then Louisville is playing... No, that's Sunday.
That's a Sunday.
Shoot. So Saturday night, there really isn't anything to go opposite or lead into. Sunday is probably the best. You got Notre Dame, Wisconsin. That is going to be a night game, is it not?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to go head-to-head with Louisville, Ole Miss. So those are kind of the 2 better games of the weekend, go head-to-head. And the only other one is Clemson and LSU. And then you got the one that's after my heartstrings because you got the beloved Ponies against Florida State. That's Monday night at 7:30. But it leaves a lot to be desired. And I think the reason for this is 9 conference games, expanded playoff. Some of these series have been canceled.
Yeah, that's pissing me off, though, because
I know
one of the things that they tried to sell me on, and I knew they were lying when they did it, was, oh, we're going to expand this thing, and you're going to have more margin for error so you can schedule bigger games in your non-conference and give people more of what they want. And then the committee literally just sits there at the end of the year, and they're like, okay, well, who is undefeated? Then who has 1 loss and who has 2 losses? And that's how they rank them. They don't even consider what the matchups were and what the teams were at the time and how big the matchups were. It's just like, we're going to rank you by wins and losses. And so we get to a point where, and we'll get to the big-ass postseason that I can't stand, but we get to the point where we got this big postseason, but we don't even get the benefits of it in the regular season because everybody's scared to schedule.
Everybody became James Franklin's Penn State.
Yeah.
which I can't stand. And quite frankly, I'm glad that we're done with that era of Penn State, just in terms of just being fearful of what Penn State can be. But that's basically what everybody's doing. Like, I know for now, Ohio State, Alabama is on. They're supposed to play it next year. Greg Byrne, the athletic director at Alabama, said, yeah, we're playing the game. Okay. Do I think that Ohio State, Georgia is going to be played in 3 years? Less. No. Georgia just backed out of a home and away with Florida State last week. And they're going to try to turn it into a one-off because he's looking at his schedule and goes, I got 9 SEC games, and I'm going to play Texas and Alabama and LSU and all these teams. I don't need to be doing this stuff, because they're looking at it and they're going, I got to go 10-2. Yep. In a 12-team playoff, I got to go 12-2. And you're exactly right. They're going to tell you that in a 24-team playoff, it won't matter as much, and you can take losses just like the NFL. But that is nonsense. All of these guys just want the surest way to the postseason. Yep. That's it. And they know, to your point, that the surest way is 11-1, 10-2, 12-0. That's the surest way. It's not 8-4 playing the toughest schedule in America. I wish, which I hate.
I wish some of these programs would lean into exactly what they are. And what I mean by that is, you're Ohio State, you got that block O, right? That carries more weight than anything. Mm-hmm. Alabama, your colors, your jersey, your helmet, your logo carries more weight than anything. You get the benefit of the doubt when you lose these games, so go out and schedule them. They don't judge you as hard. When I get it, if you're Indiana, everybody's still going to have their doubts. Penn State hasn't had their breakthrough. Like, I get it for those teams if you want to be scared, but we're talking about the big boys of the sport. Like, you already get every benefit of the doubt. Just go out there and give us the games we want to see.
I would argue this too with like Ohio State and with Alabama. If you go out and you play a schedule, and it's not like Ohio State's going to play a schedule where they're going to have 4 monster teams that can win a national championship on it. Like if the year they play Alabama, they also have Michigan and they're really good, and Indiana's still good. And what are the chances Oregon's still on the schedule? You're going to get all 4 of those teams that could also. But here's the thing too. If you lose to all 4 of those, chances are you don't deserve to win a national title.
True.
If you lose to all 4 of them, if you're good enough to win a national title, you're going to win 2 of those games if those teams are national title worthy. So your 4 losses, chances are you don't deserve it.
Here's the other thing. If they go to 24, which feels inevitable now, they'll still get in.
Yeah.
Here's the 27 Ohio State football schedule. Okay? Bowling Green, New Hampshire, Alabama is week 3 at Ohio Stadium. In other words, big noon, right? So then beyond that, Michigan State, Nebraska, Purdue, USC, Michigan, Minnesota, Northwestern, Oregon, Rutgers. Even if you're going to have more talent than every team on that thing. Oregon can probably punch with you, but Alabama's trending down.
Yep.
You're going to have more talent than everybody on there. They're worst case scenario, like debacle. Like Julian Sands in the NFL, first year Tavian St. Clair, no Jeremiah, growing pains, blah, blah, blah. Worst case, you're 9-3 and you're 17th in the country and you're still in the damn playoff if it's 24 teams.
Yep.
There's really no danger at a place like this. And we continue to do this show here, so I'm not worried about what's happening at Iowa or Purdue or Minnesota or any of the rest of Nebraska. I don't care. Like, in terms of where we do this program and the program that we pay closest attention to, they're going to be fine. I would argue that even if they went 8-4, they would get in.
Yeah, I want to come back to that point about the Iowas and the Minnesotas and the Purdues. It's not even that I don't care, but like expanding it doesn't make them better.
No, it's just more bad football.
Yeah, like what are we talking about?
And not playing anybody doesn't make you better either.
No, it doesn't. So how do you fix this? What's tangible? What can actually get done? And how did we end up on the same side of Greg Sankey? That's where we're at, kids. And he might be our last guy fighting the good fight. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Aaron, I've invented something really important.
Great. Tell me what it is.
You know how water heaters never give the homeowner any sort of signal that they are about to quit working?
Jerry, did you invent a way to solve that problem?
I sure did. I call it the Eco First Responder System.
I like it. How does it work?
Well, when your hot water heater quits working and you have no hot water, just call ECO before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
Jerry, that's been our policy for a long time. What exactly did you invent?
I invented the name, Aaron. The name. The Eco First Responder System. I thought you said you liked it.
Sure, Jerry. It's a great name for a really strong guarantee.
When your water heater quits working, just call ECO before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
You're a great guy, Jerry. I'm really glad you work here.
Get ECO.
ECO. GetEco.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Visit OhioMulch.com to find a location near you.
This is possibly the biggest Honda sale in Ohio.
Lindsay Honda's Trade-a-thon is on. Trade your car, truck, boat, or even motorcycle now. Drive a gas-sipping new 2026 Civic Hatchback Hybrid Sport Touring. A very low $279 a month. Or a new 2026 CRV Hybrid Trail Sport all-wheel drive. Just $369 a month. Do you want more for your trade? See Lindsay Honda now.
Trade-a-thon puts you in the driver's seat for less.
See lindsayhonda.com for details.
BMI Federal Credit Union is celebrating their 90th anniversary all year long with monthly sweepstakes. Get in on your chance to win free gas for a year when you lower your car payment with a BMI FCU auto loan. Apply today at bmifcu.org/gas.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we put new windows in a Dublin home last week. You wouldn't believe how much new light was let in. Changed the entire mood of the home.
You don't need fancy windows to change the mood of a room, Leslie. Know what else will do that? Wilson's Wicks, my new candle line. Here, smell this one.
Oh, that's bad.
I call it warm tuna salad. It's not for everyone.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot, hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Baker. Round 1 of the 108th PGA Championship underway this morning. All of the morning groups are actually out on the course. Steven Yeager, Bud Colley, and Cameron Smith, your leaders at -3. Afternoon groups tee off just after noon. The Cleveland Cavaliers took a 3-2 lead in their series with the Pistons following a 117-113 overtime victory. James Harden led the way with 30. Game 6 is tomorrow night at 7 up in Cleveland. The Cleveland Guardians completed the sweep of the Los Angeles Angels yesterday, winning 4-2. The Cincinnati Reds lose a tough one in extras to the Washington Nationals 8-7. Those two wrap up their series over on the Fan 2 this afternoon at 12:40. This one's sponsored by Green & Sons. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a Thursday edition of the program. Bake, of course, is here. I, of course, am here. And JP is here. Mr. Perry is here, the future governor. So how do we get on the side of Greg Sankey? Well, because quite honestly, he probably more closely represents the ideals of Ohio State football, as crazy as that sounds, than some of these other commissioners do. And here's the thing we're on his side for. Now, Ryan Day's not going to be on his side because Ryan Day's going to do the good thing, and he's going to say, I want a 2014 playoff and the more people than in and all of that. But you put it up on the poll right now, 2014 playoff, 16, 12, 8, whatever. 24 is going to finish last. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to finish last. Stuart Mandel reporting this 35 minutes ago. The ACC, Big 12, and now Notre Dame support the Big Ten's 2014 playoff. The SEC is the last holdout. The other holdout with the SEC is ESPN. ESPN doesn't want this either. Now, other television networks can't wait to do this because it's more inventory that they could scoop up. And so I understand that because, again, for a million times, we're making television shows. We all get that around here. I do not have any interest in a 2014 playoff. I don't. I don't care about these matchups that potentially would happen. I don't care about 9-3 teams playing. I think logistically it's an absolute mess. I hate the idea of buys, Joshua. I don't like teams getting buys. I think everybody should play. I don't like it in the NFL. Should be an even number of teams. If you're the 1, you play the 8, and away we go. Same thing here. I don't like the idea of 8 teams sitting there waiting to play for a week. I don't think the postseason should be elongated. I think it should be shorter. I actually think 8. I think 4 was pretty good, too. I don't think you need 12. I definitely don't want 24. I would do 16 because then at least everybody plays. But how did we get to a point where a year ago, when Tony Petitti dropped this, no one was for it except him, and he was on an island. And now here we are a year later, all of these guys want it.
So when the expansion models were first dropped and the Big Ten was like 24 and everybody's like, why would anybody want to do that? And the Big 12 and the ACC were like, no, we like the 16 or whatever that the SEC is pitching. I'm like, you guys are dumb. The Big 12 and the ACC at that point were stupid because the only conference that would benefit from expanding to 16 is the SEC because those are the teams that are like right there on the outside looking in the rankings. And you can do it based off of that. You could do whatever models they were pitching. It was not a model to me that really included more teams outside of the SEC and potentially the Big Ten. So I think the Big 12 and the ACC started to realize that and moved more towards what Tony Petitti was pitching. The SEC, I think, is dug in because they're kind of in that spot of like, yeah, we'll get a few more teams, but we haven't won this thing in a couple years, right? Like it's getting a little bit harder for us. Why would we open it up? But this will be the most interesting thing to watch. I'm not exactly sure that everybody down south is in lockstep with this. And what I'm pointing to is that 9th conference game for them. Half the conference is going to be toting another L.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're going to want as many opportunities to get in as possible with that extra loss on your resume. As I said, the committee has been pretty clear of just ranking teams by how many wins and losses that they have. So I think that's how we got there. I think the other conferences just wised up and said, our best opportunity to actually get more teams into the postseason is to just make this thing as big as possible, because otherwise it's just going to go to the SEC or the Big Ten.
And Joshua, you just said something pretty interesting, and maybe we've been giving Tony Petitti and now Greg Sankey too much credit, because Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, as he was saying, the ACC was all for this and beating the drum for Notre Dame yesterday when he stabbed Notre Dame in the back by helping get Miami in over them. He said that ESPN is against expanding the playoff. So maybe Greg Sankey is just talking for his television partner, and maybe Tony Petitti is just talking for his television partner. And look, we know Tony Petitti's background. He's a TV guy,
right.
So he's lockstep with Fox and just getting more games on TV and selling more games.
Yeah.
But maybe, Joshua, your point is some of the coaches, maybe some of these people in the SEC might be on board with this, but all we hear is they're not, because Greg Sankey's leading the charge and he's beating ESPN strong.
Guys, we've already had SEC coaches say they're for it.
Yep.
Josh Heupel said it.
Of course.
Tennessee, they're for it, because he's going, wait a second. Let's not make this more complicated than it is. This is self-preservation.
Yeah.
This is coaches saying, you can't fire me. I made the playoff.
That would.
Well, hold on a second. The whole top 25 makes the playoff. What do you mean you made the playoff?
And Tennessee would be in every year.
They would be in every year.
Yeah.
And so one of those things, it's going to take us a while to kind of reassess what is success.
Right.
But in the meantime, that's not something Josh Heupel's going to have to worry about. He buys 2 or 3 to 5 more years of job security, because he can sell, I made the playoff. What more do you want from me? That's what it is. It's about self-preservation. That's why all these coaches want this thing.
Yes.
And nobody's going to do the right thing. Nobody is. So they're going to expand it. It's going to go to 24. More teams are going to be in. You're going to be having more bad ball in December that's going to be competing with the NFL, that's going to get absolutely body bagged by the NFL in December from a rating standpoint. But it's still going to be better than the alternative, men's college basketball, the NBA, NHL. None of those things register the way that college football does. So they'll do 3 or 4 million viewers on some of this stuff as opposed to 8 or 12.
Let's roll this
but
back,
that's still better.
Whatever happened to just watching a bowl game and enjoying it?
It's over.
No, but
it is. It's over. Bud.
You watch this though, because back in the day there weren't that many bowl games, and then all of a sudden people were like, "Oh, we want more football, even if it's not high stakes, even if nobody's winning a championship. We'd like to watch a bigger postseason." To the point where we had to allow teams that weren't even 500. To play in bowl games so you could fill them out. And now all of a sudden, nobody gives a damn about any of these games. Like, this is insane to me.
Do you know why? Because college football told us that 4 teams mattered in a playoff. And then they told us that 12 teams mattered. And that's why we didn't care about bowl games anymore, because college football told us they didn't matter.
It was never like that. This was never a sport that was only about winning a championship. For some teams, it was about getting to 6-6 so they could play in a postseason. For some teams, it was about the chase for a conference championship, which might go away now. For other teams, the New Year's Six was phenomenal, because it was for that second tier of teams that you weren't quite good enough to win a title, but damn it, you could win an Orange Bowl or a Sugar Bowl or a Rose Bowl, and that was phenomenal. And now nobody even cares about winning that.
No. Bake's right in how it started. I covered it both sides of it. I covered it when it was a BCS, and I covered Rose Bowls, Sugar Bowls, Fiesta Bowls, all of this stuff, and you guys would go, or before that I'd cover Florida State, and they would go, and it was awesome. The fans would go. It was like a vacation at the end of the year. The kids enjoyed the hell out of it because they got a week in a warm climate, and they got gifts and all of this stuff. And it was great. And they would rate big. You'd get to see matchups you otherwise wouldn't get to see. But then somebody said, well, we need to have a national champion, and we got to do it this way. And it changed everything.
Yeah.
And then you add that to the fact that now we have so many things pulling at our attention. There are so many things for entertainment that are pulling at us and pulling at our attention. If there aren't real stakes in it, we're just not interested anymore. We're not. How many people have you talked to who are casual sports fans that say, yeah, I didn't watch any of the NBA, but now that there's something at stake, now I'm going to watch the playoffs?
No, for sure.
It happens all the time. The other thing that you just said, and this is really important because we talked about this a little bit yesterday, Bake, the expectation changed. When Jim Tressel was here, it was beat Michigan, win the Big Ten. Now, he won a national championship early, but I covered Tress's teams. And Joshua, it wasn't like if they didn't win a national championship, the season was a failure. I'll never forget the video of him beating Arkansas down in the Sugar Bowl.
Yep.
And he rolled by on the bus, and Dom and I were standing right outside the Sugar Bowl, and he was miming like the Steve Young, like, get the monkey off my back, because he finally beat an SEC team.
Yep.
You thought he just won the national title. That's how excited he was. He beat Arkansas in a Sugar Bowl. You thought he won a national title. When they beat Oregon in the Rose Bowl, it was like, wow, what a great season for the Buckeyes. Won the Rose Bowl, all of that. Then all of a sudden, you guys played in that first playoff, and it's like, if you don't play for a national championship, that was urban, that was the playoff, that was all of it. Now there's no joy in any of it unless you win the last game you play, which in this instance has to be the national title.
I mean, it stinks, because those were the games that you talked about were like, I was in high school. Those are games that I vividly remember, and I'm like, I'm about to be a part of this, right? Like, it was so cool, and now everything just. And the other part too, you mentioned high stakes. People want that. We're trying to manufacture stakes on games that nobody's going to give a damn about. Like, I truly don't care if number 23 Wisconsin is getting ready to play number 18 Michigan State. That's not a bigger game because it has playoff implications. And I would go as far as to say that we're actually going the opposite direction, because number 2 Ohio State versus number 7 Michigan doesn't mean a damn thing, because both of those teams are in the playoffs.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing?
No, I agree. And there's one other byproduct of this that I think you better beware if you're the ACC and the Big 12. We will get into that coming up next. Also, what are some things we can actually get done for the sport? Coach Day on the health of the sport as well coming up. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Introducing UDF's new Ice Cream Quakes flavors for summer. Get a sugar rush with cotton candy crackle. Try something crunchy and creamy with peanuts and caramel corn. Feel a chili lime kick with mango chili tango. Or go for a summer favorite with peachy cobbler. UDF Summer Ice Cream Quakes. Only at United Dairy Farmers for a limited time.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Happy anniversary, Mike.
Yep, Chip and his family can be proud. Tire Discounters is officially 50.
I believe the 50th is traditionally called golden.
Like the golden rule?
Ah, yes. Give unto others a free alignment. With any 4-tire purchase, of course.
But I meant do unto others, you know, treating people like you'd want to be treated.
Yet another reason that Tire Discounters has stood the test of time.
So you really thought the golden rule was about free alignment?
Alignment. So crucial.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on USDA Choice boneless chuck roasts. They're on sale now for just $6.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Call today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you want and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, foreclosures, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Call today and speak with me, John Kozik, for an all-cash offer and the help you need. At 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000, TurboTrackRealty.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a partly sunny day today and cool with breezy winds and temperatures in the mid to low 60s. Skies turn mostly clear tonight as lows plunge into the upper 30s to low 40s, but we end the work week mostly sunny and it will be a tad warmer as our daytime highs get into the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here at the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. We are proudly brought to you and sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for nearly 80 years. Sawmill Easton. Check them out. They'll take care of you. I assure you of that. Here's the thing. This would be my my warning to ACC and Big 12 commissioners and I suppose to a certain extent even Notre Dame. If you think just because you're getting 24 that you're going to get some sort of even split, think again. You're not. The SEC and the Big Ten are going to hog this thing, and you're going to get the scraps. That's the reality. Just do a little exercise. If you have 24 teams in a playoff, do you think they're really just going to take the top 24 teams in the country?
Nope.
Of course not. How many automatic bids from the Big Ten and the SEC are there going to be? 8 each? 7 each?
Yeah, it's going to be at
6
least
each?
half of the field. So I'd say 6
So
each.
it's 6?
Yeah.
All right, so let's say 6 auto bids, for God's sakes. Can you imagine that?
I already hate this. Oh,
Same.
my God. I literally,
Same.
when you just said this, I literally wanted to puke.
All right, so Bake, do me a favor. Pull up the standings from last year in the SEC and the Big Ten, and count down from 1 to 6. And while you're doing that, so if you go 6 each of those, that's 12. Joshua, I think for the time being, unless they do what the Presidents do and have a true group of 6 playoff, they don't want to get sued, so they're going to have at least 2 of them in.
Probably.
Fair? Okay,
Unfortunately.
two group of 6s.
So here
All
you
right,
go.
so now you're at 14. Hold on just a second, real quick. Now you're at 14. There's no way they're giving the Big 12 and the ACC auto bids of 5 each.
No, they're probably gonna do
4,
maybe 3 apiece, and
3?
then at larges.
Okay, so now you're at 3. I'm with you. I think it'll be 3.
Yeah.
All right, so now that's 6. So that's 12 and 6 state school, but Matt tells me that's 18, and 2 is 20. That means there's 4 at-large bids. One of those is going to be Notre Dame every year. That leaves 3.
Yep.
Who do you think those are going to?
Oh, you already know.
Come on. Come on. What are we doing? Bake, what do you got for me?
So in the Big Ten last year, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, Michigan, and Iowa were your top 6. And then
What were Iowa and Michigan's records? Do you have that?
so Michigan was 9-4. Both of them were 9-4. Michigan was 7-2 in conference. Iowa 6-3.
So they were probably 8-4 going to bowl games because I think both those teams won their bowl games.
And then here you go for the SEC. You have Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas A&M, Alabama, Texas, and Oklahoma and Vanderbilt were tied at 6. All of those teams, so Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Texas were 10-3. Alabama was 11-4.
If they're going to insist on, and they won't do it because they won't do what's right for the sport, but they're going to insist on this stupid thing, then it's almost like they should go to a 10-game regular season.
So that was the other thing that I was thinking about in the last segment is what point do they start saying we're going to cut down on the regular season so we can do this dumb postseason?
Well, they're not, because then they're giving away money. And that's at the root of all of this. It's the same reason anybody says, oh, the baseball season's too long. Instead of 162, we got to go to 154 or 148 or something like that. The basketball season's so long. We got to go to 60 games. You think owners are giving back that money? That's gate.
Yeah.
Same thing in college football. Ohio State needs 8 home games to pay the bills. They need them.
Yeah.
They're not giving those back. So, and the television, they're not giving them back either. They're not giving back the inventory. So this is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it bursts.
Yuck.
But that's it. So this is something we can't control. I don't think we, and you can correct me if you feel differently on this, I don't think that we have any control. If any time somebody comes to me, Joshua and Bake, and they say, we got to stop how much money these kids are making, that's a non-starter. That's a non-starter. That's never going to be enforceable, ever, until you do contracts, and we're not there yet. So that's never going to be enforceable. So the things that I think are doable that you can do is eligibility stuff, 5 years to play 5. Mm-hmm. I think there's a path for that. And I think that there is the simplest thing that they could do that would ease all of this is the calendar. That's the easiest thing that they could all do that would make at least this a little bit more doable for coaches, support staff, everybody. What do you think is the most important thing that they can actually get done? Not the big stuff. We can't fix all of this. But what is something that they can get done that they should?
So I want to bounce back before I get into my answer. For the calendar, what would be your ideal setup?
You go week 1 is week 0.
Okay.
You play the Ohio State-Michigan game the Saturday before Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving weekend is Army-Navy on its own.
Okay.
You can do the Heisman that weekend as well. The next weekend, starting December 1st, you start the playoff. You go now, and ideally we go 16 teams. So you go round 1 on the first weekend, round 2 on the second weekend, round 3 on the 4th. I believe that works. You take the holiday off. You play the semifinals on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You crown a national champion the Friday. I like it Friday. I don't like it Monday because then people have to work the next day.
I hate it
always
Monday.
going to start it at 8. So
yeah, that's dumb.
NFL's never given you Saturday back. So go Thursday. I would go Friday for the national title game. The portal opens after the national title game in January. National Signing Day, you have one at the end of June. You have one in February. So you have 2 of them if you want them. That would allow the early entry stuff, which I would get rid of that too. But
right.
I know I can't win all of that. So give me a signing day at the end of summer. Give me one in February. Move spring football back. Move it back a little bit. You could even do it like NFL, and you could do it in May and June, whatever, and go that way. And then at least you have some semblance of some sort of normalcy with it versus how it is right now. So that would be the way I would do it.
Yeah, I'm with you on a lot of that. I think the calendar is where I would start. It'd be the easiest thing to approach. And you mentioned spring, and there was a proposal that the AFCA made about basically an OTA setup. So there would be more spring practices, and you could do a portion of it, then take a break, and then do the rest of it later in the spring, early summer, which I think makes a lot of sense as much as we're professionalizing the sport. Why not do that part of the offseason the way they do it? One of the things that stood out to me was the summer signing period and then having one in the winter like we typically have had. I am actually in the camp, and I feel like a lot of people would hate this, but one of the things I hate about recruiting is that you got to offer a guy just to talk to him. Like, he won't take a visit unless you offer him. I think that the moment you offer a kid, he should be able to sign a letter of intent.
I have no problem with that.
I think it would make a lot of things a lot easier. I think people would be a little bit more serious about recruiting. It'd be less of a headache for me. That's selfish, but it's just the way I feel about it.
No, I have no problem with that.
You
shouldn't offer someone unless you're willing to accept the signature.
Exactly.
The only thing about that to me is these guys just go wherever, whenever now anyway. So what does that even mean? Like if they sign a letter of intent after their junior year of high school, what does that even mean?
It means you're not backing out of that bad boy until you get on campus.
If it's binding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be binding. And by the way, I think that's enforceable.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably enforceable. If you sign that's a contract. That's an academic contract.
Yeah.
If that's binding. And as I'm thinking about this, you might not even, the coaches would not want this. But
no.
I'm just thinking I'm trying to think where is the best place to put the portal? Is the best place to put the portal?
To put it is in hell, honestly.
I know, but it's not going there.
Well.
So is it going to go like the one thing about kind of the model we're talking about is, do you open a second portal in May? Like, because then guys would know, okay, this is where I stand out of spring. I'm not going to be in the mix. Like, is that good to have that second portal in May or to just have the one in January? Because even January in my proposal would be pretty chaotic.
The second portal, I think, became an issue because of the rev share agreements. And so you've got guys who they've committed based off of the rev share. And now all of a sudden they're like, I'm not going to play and I want to go somewhere else. And the tampering that happens in spring, it's why people stop doing spring games. I'm glad they're coming back. That got to be crazy. So the one portal feels like a more organized situation. I'll tell you right now, if they could actually do something about transfers, I think that accomplishes more than anything else, because part of the reason why the market is as hectic as it is because guys can be free agents all the time and the price is constantly going up. Mm-hmm. But if you can limit the amount of times that players can move, you also limit how quickly the wages are increasing. I'm not trying to be an anti-players getting paid guy, right? Like, go get your money, whatever it is, like take advantage of the system. But if that's one of the biggest complaints in the sport right now, the player movement, I think, impacts the NIL aspect of it. It impacts the roster building aspect. It impacts the development aspect, which is everything the coaches are talking about.
Maybe we do a portal in March.
That's what I was just thinking.
I'm just thinking NFL calendar, right? Because that would give, like, free agency in the NFL is in March, and then they have all the OTAs and stuff after it. Like, obviously, you couldn't leave school in the middle of March to go to another school, but your portal could be open. You could do the visits and all that stuff, and then you would show up in the summer.
Especially if we're talking about moving spring football back more into the summer. Let's have it in March so they can still go in before the spring and after their season or whatnot. And then you don't have to worry about January. And the thing about the revenue sharing, and I believe they do that like on the calendar year, correct? Just don't give them the money until after spring, like until after the portal. If you stay, then we're going to give the money out. And if you leave and go to another program, then you're part of their revenue sharing.
Yeah, it's some interesting stuff to think through there. Paul Finebaum in 2 minutes, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with a unique opportunity for you. The chance to drop 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180. Fast results, sustainable results, medication-free, and free support for life. 40 by the 4th. This is your year. Awaken180weightloss.com.
This is possibly the biggest Honda sale in Ohio.
Lindsay Honda's Trade-a-thon is on. Trade your car, truck, boat, or even motorcycle now. Drive a gas-sipping new 2026 Civic Hatchback Hybrid Sport Touring. A very low $279 a month. Or a new 2026 CRV Hybrid Trail Sport all-wheel drive. Just $369 a month. Do you want more for your trade? See Lindsay Honda now.
Trade-a-thon puts you in the driver's seat for less.
See LindsayHonda.com for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days will be here soon, which means high utility bills from your AC running constantly. Don't wait until the heat hits to try and avoid the extra energy costs. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Older windows and even some newer builder-grade windows don't always seal tightly. So your cool AC can slowly slip outside without you even noticing. And your energy bills take the hit. Window Nation windows are built with insulated glass, strong frames, and tight seals that fit just right. You get a cooler, more comfortable house, and you could even see lower energy bills the first month. They're so good, Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty. Plus, they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. The sale ends soon, so book your consultation at windownation.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum, sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
And Joshua Perry's sitting in with me today as we welcome on Mr. Finebaum. Paul, as you know, well documented in our conversations, I am a fan of Lane Kiffin because I'm a fan of interesting, and I think he's interesting. Now, I don't know if I'd find him interesting if he was in my conference and I had to hear from him all the time. I don't know. But I did think even for him, this was a low, really low below-the-belt shot at Ole Miss, and now all of a sudden he's a civil rights advocate and all these other things. You know him a little bit. What do you make of his comments about Ole Miss, and why does he have to nuke every place he leaves to the ground?
Well, that's his personality. Let's start with being a narcissist, and you can just add any other possibility to that if you want to get into personality disorders. He did it for one specific reason. He is bitter at Ole Miss, and I know that sounds crazy because every Ole Miss fan in America is still carrying a torch for Lane Kiffin like the jilted lover in high school. But he feels betrayed that they wouldn't let him coach those games while he was recruiting against them. He resents the fact that they were able to win a couple of games, and he just can't let it go. I've known him very well, as you know. I've had many private conversations with him, and never once has he ever brought this issue up, that it was difficult to recruit at Ole Miss because of 60s civil rights issues. And I'm not making light of it. I live in the South. I always have. I grew up literally across the border from Ole Miss, and I'm well aware of its history. But it's not like he left Ole Miss to go to Harvard. He went to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'll say no more. And it's just who he is. It's why he is polarizing. It's also why people just can't get enough of him.
And so then on top of that, we have Sark with the basket weaving. And so when I hear all of this stuff, I go, man, is Ole Miss better at this in terms of NIL and portal and all of this than I realize? Are they a threat?
Pretty good at it. What was so remarkable is a whiny little guy who always is complaining about something in spite of the $12 million a year salary. If Steve Sarkisian thinks that athletes are leaving where they are, like Cam Coleman leaving Auburn as the top wide receiver in the portal to go to Texas for the curriculum, he's kidding himself. And besides, UT's a good school, but what did he really do there? He attacked Ole Miss, which is only Arch Manning's, where his parents went, where his uncle and aunt went, and where his grandparents went. There's no bigger. The Mannings are the first family of Ole Miss, and Sark just blew that bridge up for no good reason.
Yes, Dad's an alumnus. What are we doing? Arch's dad? Like, it's crazy. God, I'm jealous of your conference sometimes. Go ahead, Joshua.
All right. So we've been talking about it, the playoff models and what you want to do with the postseason. The SEC is dug in kind of on their own island, really, with the 16-team model. And so I was doing a podcast yesterday with Nicole Auerbach, who's a frequent guest on your show. And I asked her the question. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. But how comfortable is the SEC on this island where everybody else is moving more toward the idea of the 24-team format?
Josh, I'll answer your question in just a second. I just want a personal note here. I will never forgive you for New Year's night in New Orleans when Ohio State beat Alabama. It was one of the worst nights of my career. I can still see Ezekiel Elliott running 80 yards for a touchdown. But back to your question, the SEC has flipped the switch with the Big Ten a year ago when they were holding out. And right now, I work across the street from the SEC headquarters, so I'm going to answer the question by saying I firmly believe Greg Sankey, the commissioner, does not want to budge on this. I don't know. And the thing that he has in his favor, everyone is against him except the most important people. And that's his partners at ESPN. Mm-hmm. They do not want a 24-team playoff for the obvious reason. They'll lose control of it. So 2 weeks from now, the SEC meetings will be wrapped up. We may have a better indication, but I suspect when June 1st comes, Joshua, we will not have a resolution on this.
Paul, is it surprising, and you know Sankey better than or as well as anybody in the media, certainly, is it surprising, disappointing? Where is he on the ACC kind of ranking rank with him? And the reason that I say that is because ACC is in bed with ESPN as well, and they're your employer, and they don't want it for the reason that you just said. But my hunch is that both Sankey and ESPN thought, hey, these guys will be good soldiers, and they'll keep it where it's at, or at the most go to 16. Were they surprised by the comments this week from Jim Phillips?
I suspect they were. But there also could be something under the table. Having spent the last 12 years in Charlotte, which is the head of the SEC, and working at the SEC network, which is our sister network to the ACC, I think there's a little bit of underneath all that the SEC gets preferential treatment and the ACC is treated like a second-class citizen. I think it was still surprising, but you also have to – I thought the most hilarious thing Phillips said was he was arguing that Notre Dame last year was a championship-level team. It was his own conference's publicity department that was campaigning against Notre Dame in favor of Miami.
Only college sports, buddy. Where do you have these type of things, right? Only in college sports.
It was really insane to watch all of that go down. But to spin that forward a little bit, there are – rumblings that Greg Sankey was not very happy about the AFCA making proposals and not running them by him. And with the Big Ten winning, 3 championships in a row, and now you kind of have coaches making decisions and not running it by the Godfather, so to speak. Like, is there a worry down south that maybe the SEC is losing some of its power over the sport?
Josh, I'm not permitted by my contract with the SEC to answer that question honestly, but you know the answer. It is yes, of course it is. And by the way, I thought that was pretty funny that Sankey said, the head of the AFCA didn't call him. I know Greg Sankey pretty well. I mean, I think his name is Craig Bowles. If Greg Sankey saw Craig Bowles pop up on his phone, something tells me he would keep walking, as we all would. Nobody cares about the AFCA, and that's the most relevant they've ever been by issuing that statement.
It certainly is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we're caroming towards 24. You're 2 weeks from SEC meetings. One of the things and I was with you on this too, by the way. I've been saying I will believe that Ohio State is playing Alabama when toe is kicked to ball. Like, that's when I'll believe it. Now, Greg Byrne said, yeah, we're playing it. Meantime, we had Georgia pull out of their home and away with Florida State this week. Do you believe that the Alabama-Ohio State games will still be played? And then off of that, after that, Ohio State's got Georgia in back-to-back seasons. Do you think those games will be played?
It's hard to believe both will be played because I think what everybody is waiting for is letting this settle and see where it is. Because if you're all my friends on social media have told me how wrong I was to tell you that a couple of months ago, but that's what I was told. Bo, and you were probably indicated the same thing.
I was. Yeah.
You can always back out of that game. Right now everybody seems to think that game is on the schedule. I'd like to see if that game's on the schedule if Kalen DeBoer has an 8-4 season this year, and his job will come down to next season and having to go to Ohio State. So I don't know if I believe anything, but I will go only this far. I don't think there's much chance that both of those Ohio State games are going to be played. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So spinning it forward off of the SEC meetings in a couple of weeks, outside of playoff expansion talk, what is the biggest storyline you're looking forward to?
Well, I think it's about the same subject that dominated the offseason last year is, can the SEC get its act back together again? While it seems to be losing power and clout off the field, it's proven that it's lost power and clout on the field. And I could not have imagined a year ago when we talked that the SEC could go 3 straight years of not even getting to the championship game. And I think that's a big concern inside here. Now, again, when you get 16 coaches together in a room, they're not really talking about that per se. What you're going to hear coaches say is kind of like what Sark said the other day. They're all going to be complaining about the same things that they have been complaining about. And I really don't care, and I'm not going to listen, because if you don't want the $10 to $12 million a year or $14 million a year salary, then, don't go get an honest job like the rest of us.
Well said, sir. Fun as always. Appreciate you. We'll do it again next week. Thanks, Paul.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, there he goes. Paul Finebaum, the Paul Finebaum Show on ESPN and the SEC Network. It's funny, like, I didn't give a whole lot of time to, like, the Sark comments. It didn't even occur to me that, oh, my God, he's insulting his star player's father's alma mater.
Yeah.
Like, there's that part too.
I mean, I
like
thought
he's
about
taking
that.
Shots. I didn't even do the arch part of it. I just thought, like, why is everybody coming at Ole Miss? Like, to me, that would be because they're a threat in some way, whether that's portal or recruiting or whatever. But, like, he actually insulted his most important player's father's alma mater and his grandfather's alma mater.
Yeah, I mean, that part was wild. But, like, Arch he's going to be gone anyway, so I don't know if he's necessarily worried about that. I'll say this is, I think what Sark had to say and what Lane had to say are both true things. I think people should do more of what Sark was doing, because people just automatically assume that if a guy is in the portal, like, you can go and get him, and it's not that easy. So I didn't have as big of an issue with that. Although what Lane said was true in terms of perception of Ole Miss and things that I've said about why I would never let my son go there.
Sure.
You didn't do anything to change the perception while you were there publicly. No. So you don't get to talk about it once you leave for Baton Rouge, of all places. It was crazy.
It was like, all of a sudden he's like a civil rights advocate.
Wild.
Like, come on, man. That was low even for him, and he apparently knows no depth of low. We'll get Thing or Not a Thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks. AmazonBusiness.com.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid.
She's the
but
best,
yeah.
I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Don't let a failing sump pump put your home at risk. Right now, get $80 off sump pump replacement with Logan Services. Protect your basement from flooding and get the peace of mind you deserve. Call now. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Summer savings are heating up at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, drive home in the rugged 2026 Toyota Tacoma for just $299 financing for up to 48 months, or turn heads in the sporty and stylish 2026 Camry XSE. Lease it for only $399 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing and 10,000 miles per year. So whether you need truck capability or sedan comfort, Germain Toyota has the next ride waiting. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation. Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Give me some something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good days, give me a deal.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Joseph Senta and Dr. Barry Zeta at Ohio Vein and Vascular are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. They can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. 3 locations to serve you at Polaris, Reynoldsburg, and now open downtown. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Have you ever met a man who wins money betting on tennis? Enter Scotty Vegas. Join Scotty and Dave Biddle for On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Sunday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Thousands of students every year choose Columbus State Community College, earning degrees that open doors to in-demand jobs, stable careers, and real earning power. Columbus State is making Central Ohio stronger. Apply today at cscc.edu.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Confused as to what to do after an accident? Or perhaps your insurance company is making the repair process difficult to navigate? Call us at Capital Ford Collision Center, where we fix all makes and models. We will work with your insurance company so you don't have to. Visit CapitalFordColumbus.com today.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Thursday. Hit it, Beck.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
So we're talking about good games in college football going by the wayside. The USC-Notre Dame rivalry, though, may not be dead after all. 6 months after the two schools announced a hiatus to one of college football's most historic series, both programs are back in negotiations, according to the Los Angeles Times. A source familiar with these discussions told the Times they were optimistic a deal could be reached. The biggest development in the piece is that Notre Dame is now willing to discuss moving the game earlier in the season, which was one of the sticking points USC had been asking for since their last negotiations. No agreement is in place. The terms are still being worked out. The Times notes that existing scheduling commitments could mean that the two schools do not play again, though, until 2030, even if a deal gets done. Thing or not a thing?
It's sort of a thing. Here, you know what you just articulated there, though, Bacon. This is something I've advocated for a long time. If you want Notre Dame in the Big Ten, just don't play them. So all you have to do, if you are Tony Petitti, is just tell USC, yeah, don't play them. Don't play them. Tell Michigan, don't play them. Tell Purdue, don't play them. Tell Michigan State, don't play them. Buckeyes, don't play them. And then say to Notre Dame, you choose. You can either play in our league full-time, or you can play your 5 ACC games you play, and you can play the service academies, and we'll see which one your alumni base likes more. And I don't know the answer to that, but I think it's that if you want them in, and they are a big fish that's still out there, if you want them in this league, all you have to do, in my opinion, is just not play them. Look at how USC moved on this. This game's not on the schedule now, or I'm sorry, Notre Dame. Look how much Notre Dame moved on this. They're like, yeah, we have to play it in November. We have to play that game in November. USC's like, actually, then we're not going to play. Now Notre Dame's like, okay, we're open to play it in September. It means a lot to our alumni. You have them over the barrel. Keep them there.
I think it's a thing because we're going to get it back. I think it's going to get done. And we talked about nostalgia earlier. I love watching these two teams and the uniforms and the history, all that. To your point about getting Notre Dame to join a conference, I think this was a little bit of a one-off thing because both fan bases were so pissed that this game wasn't happening. Like this is their deal. And I think for the rest of it, from being around Notre Dame for the last 3 years, they value their independence over almost anything. Now, this game, they feel like they got to have. Like, putting BYU on the schedule for them, not really moving the needle. But I think they're fine saying that we'll play SMU and we'll play Louisville and we'll play Boston College and we'll play Army and Navy and Marshall and whoever else to fill out the schedule because they value their independence that much.
I would put it to the test if I were the Big Ten.
I would too.
Because I don't think USC needs them. I don't think Michigan don't need them. Michigan State don't need them. I would put it to the test. I think you're right, though, by the way. I agree with everything you said. Like, it is the most important thing for them.
Be good for you, JP, because another big game on NBC you guys get to talk about.
Struggling for them.
Netflix yesterday announced that season 3 of Quarterback will debut on July 14th. This year, the show will follow Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels, Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco, Titans rookie quarterback Cam Ward, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield. Thing or not a thing?
Well, this is crazy because I know two of these guys pretty well. So, like, this is going to be crazy to me. So this, just so everybody understands in the audience, they followed them last year. So what you're going to, just think what you're going to get. You're going to get, like, first 6 weeks, fun Bake, MVP frontrunner Bake, Emeka Buka down there somewhere Bake. Like, you're going to get that in the first 6. That's going to be unbelievable. He's the most fun when it's going well you're ever going to find in the league. The most fun. He's so much fun. And then you got Flacco, who started a game with the Browns and then went to the Bengals. So you're going to have that, all of that cross-section. I can't wait to watch that part of it. Jaden and Cam are cool too, but this, because I know Baker and Joe, I think that's going to be incredible for me personally.
I'm with you. It's a thing. I think the storylines, as you mentioned, are going to be intriguing. I also think it's a really good mix of, like, you got a dude who's been around the block about 1,000 times. You've got Baker, who's had the highs of the highs, the lows of the lows, and then you've got a couple of young quarterbacks that should be stars in the league, and just seeing what they go through is going to be a really good window. And this series has been really good. Like, I've enjoyed watching it in the past.
By the way, Jaden's injury, too.
Yeah.
So
you get to see his mom.
Yeah.
People talk about that. That'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
6 weeks after Ohio State's top assistant Joel Justice departed Columbus to join head coach Mark Byington's staff at Vanderbilt, the Buckeyes have hired Mike Wells as an assistant coach yesterday. The 54-year-old stepped down from being the head coach of the NBL's Adelaide 36ers in Australia last week because he wanted to return to the United States and be closer to his family, who as of now resides in Utah. Wells is a native of Mount Vernon, Ohio, and played basketball at Mount Vernon Nazarene, where he started his coaching career. After one season there, he joined the Houston Rockets as an intern and an assistant video coordinator. He was promoted to an assistant coach in 1999. He has over 27 years of coaching experience as an assistant at the college, NBA, and NBL levels. He also won NBA championships with the Rockets in 95 and the Spurs in 07. Thing or not a thing?
Biggest thing to me is there's two things that jump out. Number one, the fact that he's lived in Australia while his family resides in Utah. That's a tough beat. That's really tough to live that way and have a life. The other thing that jumped out to me was, and his backstory doesn't really interest me, but what I do think is interesting, one part of it is, how are you, if he spent the last few years in Australia, now I'm talking about recruiting. Are there Australians? We've seen this at St. Mary's. Are there guys over there now that you can bring over here to paratroop into the Buckeye world? Now that's something I could be interested in.
It's a hell of a thought. I mean, we see Illinois, they spend half of their offseason in Europe trying to recruit guys. So makes a ton of sense there. Baby. Yeah, I'm interested in the backstory though. We've watched, and I know it's a different thing, we've watched Ohio State football with guys who have been around pros and have had success coaching pros drop in and bring some of that knowledge to the football program. I don't think it could be a bad thing to have that around the hoops program too.
That was the first thing I thought of, too. I didn't think of the Australia part and finding some hidden gems over there. Real quickly, let's get this one in. And, Bo, you brought this to my attention. The PGA Championship going on right now over outside of Philadelphia. Garrick Higo was assessed a 2-stroke penalty this morning for arriving 1 minute late to his tee time. He was supposed to tee off at 7:18. He showed up to the tee box at 7:19. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah. No kidding. Don't hit the snooze, pal. Get your ass up.
Yeah.
There are consequences for being late, Joshua.
We should do this at more of the local courses. The tee times are getting a little bit too loose here.
You can't have it.
You cannot have it.
Be where you're supposed to be.
Listen, man, I got to get back with the family. I can't be out here all day. I'll never golf again.
Exactly.
I can't believe they let him play.
I can't either, honestly.
If you're not
normally,
there,
you're
out.
done.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Normally you're out. Final hour on a Thursday. We kick it off with an open mailbag that is diverse. We got all sorts of stuff in this thing. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And are you tired of windows so drafty that your curtains blow in the wind even after you shut your windows?
Sounds like a problem, Wilson.
It's why at the other window place, we now offer curtain tie-downs.
Wouldn't just great non-drafty windows be the answer?
And tank the entire curtain tie-down market?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Jack Nicklaus's unrivaled vision. World-class competition. Golf's greats honor. Impactful charitable giving. Loyal fans and volunteers. An iconic history defined by one handshake on the 18th green. June 1st through 7th. Buy your tickets to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Visit memorialtickets.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Whether you're refreshing flower beds or finishing up that weekend project, Ohio Mulch, they have everything you need to make it look like a pro did it.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Want to win free Hothead burritos or bowls for a year? Play the Hothead Scratch and Win game, where every card is a guaranteed winner. Even a trip to the Caribbean could be yours. Get to Hothead Burritos during Cinco de Monto and scratch away.
When it's time to ask life's biggest question, make sure your ring says it all. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and we've been helping couples say yes for over 78 years. From brilliant cuts to better prices, the quality and selection of our diamonds is unmatched. Because diamonds aren't just our business, they're our legacy. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com. Bigger diamonds, better prices, guaranteed.
Are you ready to move? With CME Federal Credit Union, you can start your home buying journey. Open an Ohio Homebuyer Plus account and earn 6.5% APY for up to 5 years. Ready to buy? Lock in a 5/1 ARM mortgage at just 5% APR. Whether your first home or next chapter, CME is here for the journey every step of the way. Learn more at cmefcu.org.
APY means annual percentage yield. APR means annual percentage rate. Terms apply. Membership eligibility and approval required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit cmefcu.org for additional details.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed. High, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. time, and the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you'd want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. The 108th PGA Championship underway at Aronimink, just outside of Philadelphia. All of the morning groups are out on the course. Your leader through 11 holes is Steven Yeager. He's -4. Bud Colley through 10 holes is 1 stroke back at -3. The afternoon groups will tee off this afternoon at about 12:10. The Cleveland Cavaliers took a 3-2 lead in their series with the Pistons last night. They get an improbable 117-113 overtime win. James Harden led the way with 30 points. Game 6 will be tomorrow night up in Cleveland at 7 o'clock. The Guardians beat the Los Angeles Angels 4-2. The Reds lost to the Washington Nationals 8-7. The Colorado Avalanche advanced, beating the Minnesota Wild 4-3 in overtime. This one brought to you by Germain Toyota. For unbeatable service and sales, visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
What's the weather outside? Who cares? Baker's in shorts. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour on a Thursday edition of the program. Joshua Perry in. Bake is here. I am here. You are here in a big way via the email. Time to open up that mailbag.
Our comment box is always open. Any feedback is mostly appreciated.
The mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more. And you got to get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in. Again.
Bishop and Friends present emails.
I mean, we got them all here. You got everything you want. Loyal listeners with some great ones in here, and some newbies as well. Let's start with Jeff T. Hey, guys, can someone explain to me how a field of 24 teams plays down to 2 for a championship? So, Joshua, the way that they're going to do this is the top 8 seeds are going to get byes.
Yuck.
Yeah. So, think of it this way. Think of 1 through 8 sitting in a bracket, and then think of 9 through 24, so the 9 would play the 24, the 10 would play the 23, the 11 the 22, and so forth, playing into those seeds, which would then make a 16-team playoff. So that's how it's going to go. So it's going to go those matchups playing into 1s through 8s, and then when you get to the 1 through 8 stage, now you have a 16-team playoff. So you'd play the 16-team playoff, then an 8-team playoff, then a 4-team playoff, and then the final.
So I'll tell you this, is even if people will settle on the idea of, yes, 24 is enough, it's a good field, it's the right amount of people, how are you going to decide between 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 who actually deserves to have a bye and who doesn't? There's not very much separation in those teams, and so we're all going to be whining about something when it comes to it. It feels like there are going to be so many flaws to this postseason, but here we are.
So here you go. This sums it up. Like, to your point, last year that conversation would have been, we'll use the final college football rankings before the playoff. So this is the last one before the playoff. What you just described was the 8-9 conversation. So last year that would have meant Oklahoma gets a bye, Alabama does not. Alabama plays James Madison in Tuscaloosa. Like, who wants to see that? The 10:23 would have been Miami against Iowa.
Woof.
The 11:22 is Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. The 12:21 is Houston against BYU. The 13:20 is Texas against Tulane. The 14:19 is Vanderbilt, Virginia. The 15:18 is Utah, Michigan. And the 16-17 is USC, Arizona. That's what you got last year.
Lordy. But you got those teams, though, right there, right? What'd you say? It was Oklahoma, Alabama.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Alabama. Is
Miami, and Notre Dame. Like, we had that argument last year, and we're going to continue to have that argument moving forward, even though all of them are squarely in.
Yep.
We're still going to have these same arguments, and it's still going to be the same yuck games in this thing. But, Bo, we've talked about this for a while, and I think you probably agree with this, Joshua, too, if I remember right. Bring back a BCS-type formula.
Oh, yes, please.
And then it takes all the questions out of this. It takes all the human element out of this. I don't want automatic qualifiers and bids and yada, yada. Like, we want the best teams, no matter who those are. And I don't care if it's Boise State or Tulane or North Texas, if they're truly one of the best teams. Let's go ahead and just BCS formula this thing and get our top 24 teams if this is what we're doing.
Well said. This one from Ryan. The subject is OSU jerseys. Bo, I heard you talking about jerseys being available to the custom made in the pro shop. The problem with this is if you are like me and you only like the true, authentic, stitched-on jersey, I'd be curious for you to ask the people, do you like the screen-printed jerseys enough, or does it have to be authentically stitched for a higher price? I think they should have all of the options.
Agree.
So this Joshua, comes from something that I think the Browns do this up at the stadium on the lake, and I wish that Ohio State would do this at the pro shop or at the main bookstore or at Buckeye Corner or wherever. But you can go into First Energy Field in Cleveland, and they have stock brown jerseys that are blank for kids. So, like, if kids come in there and you want to put Otto Graham on a jersey like I did for Bootsy a few years ago, you can do it. Now, I think what they could do from an NIL component is if you want a for Jeremiah Smith customed, well, then he gets the share and the revenue of that, and that's his NIL. You want to do Sane, you want to do Peyton Pierce, you want to do Legend Bay, whatever you want to do, you can do it, and they should just have that printing press available right there at the pro shop to be able to do it on the youth jerseys was my point. On the adult jerseys, I think you already can do that. Now, it doesn't answer his stitched versus screen printed. I'm not a jersey guy, so that doesn't matter to me, but I could see how it could matter to some people.
I'm not I've got a rule about jerseys. I'm too old to wear them. But if I am getting a jersey, I'm getting it stitched. There are some people that I feel like have held on a little bit too long, and maybe the jersey's sentimental, but you start seeing the screen printing flaking off, and you can barely tell whose name was on it once upon a time. Like, stitch me up. That's what I want.
I think that there are places you can do this. It just takes a while. Like, I know if you go down to the Blue Line and you buy a jersey and you want it stitched up with your own number and name or whatever, you can do that. I think it just takes 3 or 4 weeks to get it done because they have to send it out and or they have a back order or whatever. So I believe you can do that with Ohio State jerseys too somewhere. It's just going to take you a while to get it.
So I'll tell you this, and maybe the people over there at the faucet won't want to hear this, but back when I was in school and I wasn't making any money, so I didn't give a damn anyway, we would order the Perry 37 jerseys, and they had every style. They had home and away. They had one that had a picture of me in the 3 and the 7 on the jersey. They had gray. They had anything you would want, and we would just order them from China, and it might take a couple of weeks to get in, but we had 1,000 of those bad boys because they were cheap and we could get them exactly the way we wanted them.
That's pretty. Yeah. No, you're right.
And
they're not going to want to hear that.
Nope.
Yes. That's all right. I think you did your time. No NIL in your time. You could. All the secrets can be told. All right. This is Brendan, who understands the assignment. His title is 3 Things. Happy Thursday. I usually only try to space out my 3 things via email every 6 months, but this week I had to get involved. Number 1, Bo. Bo brought up the story about an adult travel baseball coach telling a youth baseball umpire that he needed to do something about the walk-up music the opposing team was playing, and the young ump told him to kick rocks. So the softy coach took his team and went home. This did happen. I've been an umpire since I was 16 years old. In the last 11 years, the amount of walk-up music, pre-at-bat antics has increased significantly in youth baseball. It's fine, but it's gotten a little bit out of hand with the large speakers, parents' commitment to the bit, using smartphone apps to announce the batter over the speaker as they walk up to the batter's box, the kids pre-at-bat writing on their name in the dirt using cursive and hitting all 5 points of the home plate. Where's the youth baseball pitch clock? I will say, though, one of the kids' walk-up songs this week was Zach Brown Band's Chicken Fried, and the line about cold beer on a Friday night. So respect, young fella. He gets it. That's crazy. My kids don't play baseball. I had no idea this was going on. Like, that you got, like, they're introducing these little kids. I mean, that's just absurd. The adults are ruining everything. Number 2, as Keith Jackson was retiring, I was starting to be able to sit through a full-length pro college sports game on TV around 10 years old. I grew up hearing Brent Musburger, the major college football telecast, but I've always had a major soft spot for Brad Nessler. Growing up, my brother and I had NCAA Game Breaker 2003 college football game that had Jackson on play-by-play and NCAA March Madness with Nessler and Dick Vitale as the voices of the play-by-play. Nessler also had the run through the heart of the South, Zeke Elliott, 85-yard touchdown run against Bam in the 2014 national title game. Nessler now primarily calls the 3:30 CBS game of the week and only does first, second-round games of the NCAA tournament. I think you should give him some more at-bats because he's just great. But don't let me start annually pounding the table for Kevin Harlan, though. Also had some comments on the Youngstown boosters and or bookies rather, and the Massillon NIL situation for the 2 kids who transferred from Hoban. Hold the thought on the Keith Jackson one, Joshua, because this goes into one we got from Fitz. Heard our segment talking about Ohio State, Michigan, voices of it. Joshua, the backup story on this was Gus and Joel are now kind of the voices of Ohio State football in big games. They kind of are. So it was Keith Jackson for a long time. Then 04-05, Musburger and Gary Danielson. From 06-07, it was Musburger and Herb Street. Then 08, 13, and 15, it was Nessler. 9, 10, and 12, it was Sean McDonough during that stretch. And then Dave Pash actually did it in 11 and 14. So for the 506 Sports Archive, the only year that Chris Fowler actually called the game was 2016. Wow. And the Curtis Samuel walk-off, this time period was that I covered was most of my childhood. So it makes sense, right? I never really attributed one TV voice to the game as I was growing up. When you think of television voice of Ohio State football, who do you think of?
It's a tough question because I think I've got the recency bias. Mm-hmm. Like we've gotten so much of Gus.
Yeah.
We've gotten so much of him. And we've gotten the best of him. We've gotten the worst of him as well. You get a Ohio State Purdue snoozer at noon. But it's the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Yeah. I think it is for my kids. Like I was saying earlier this week when we were talking about it, like Beamsy does the world famous Ohio.
Yeah, buddy.
Guys, like he does that thing. He loves it. All right, lots more, including some good takes on snoozing, some takes on how to get smell back. Yeah, we got the best listeners. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Have you ever considered how amazing your backyard would look with genuine tropical plants from Oakland Nursery? Imagine it. Bring a tropical paradise home and live it every day. Tropical hibiscus, palm trees, mandevilla, gardenias, citrus and banana plants, flowering cannas, and more. Envision that lush, exotic feel exploding with tropical colors in your own tropical oasis. Discover the possibilities for yourself during the Parade of Color at Oakland Nursery. For 86 years, the area's most amazing gardens start at Oakland Nursery.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan. Streaming May 15th on Paramount Plus. Beth and Rip are back in Dutton Ranch.
This life here is gonna work, isn't it?
We'll make it work. Starring Kelly Riley.
A legacy is a beautiful thing, but only if it survives.
Cole Hauser.
What's going to work?
Ed Harris.
Family is the only thing worth fighting for.
And Annette Benning.
I can make this a lot harder for all y'all.
Big piece will have to wait.
Dutton Ranch. New series streaming May 15th on Paramount Plus. Good news. Jack has personally invited the Fan to the Memorial Tournament, and we're broadcasting 30 hours of live content, and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results, and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a partly sunny day today and cool with breezy winds and temperatures in the mid to low 60s. Skies turn mostly clear tonight as lows plunge into the upper 30s to low 40s, but we end the work week mostly sunny and it will be a tad warmer as our daytime highs get into the low 70s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
Hey, enjoyed Common Man tonight, a special edition of Common Man's Basement. You know the deal. It's Mike in his basement, hanging out, answering your questions live from the chat. Catch it tonight at 9, exclusively on the Fans YouTube channel and presented by Lion's Den. Back to the mailbag we go. This one from our good buddy, Mr. Snagglepuss. Snags, by the way, incredible email about your aunt. That one was nuts. Here's one. So, Joshua, earlier this week, and we put it up on the social, and I was lamenting coming out of Urban's Place on Saturday night at Bridge Park and just maniac kids on e-bikes going 60 miles an hour.
Hold on, wait a minute. You were in town.
Yeah, it was at Bridge Park.
And you didn't call the boy.
I didn't call anybody because, and you'll know this when your kids get there. You're going to know this when your kids get there. when you're in youth sports, you don't have free time. I'm not going to dinner with anybody.
We didn't have to go to dinner. I'd have stood on the sidelines with you and been cheering along.
Let me ask you this. Did you know I was in town?
No.
No, we have audio
have to
audience.
Play this audio now?
We have audio proof. You've just walked into a trap.
Stuck up for you.
No,
and then
you had my back
for it.
So the e-bikes, like these, it was crazy. Like these 12, to me, looked like between like 12 and 15-year-olds, just zooming all over hell. So Snags writes, I spent a lot of time in Arlington, so where I'm looking to buy a house. The e-bike situation becomes a pandemic. One person at the dog park is a former cop. He looked up the law, and you're supposed to be 16 to ride one. 16-year-olds in Arlington aren't riding e-bikes. They're driving cars. These kids are 12, 13, 14. They're going whatever direction they want. They're popping wheelies, no helmets. They'll drive them on grass and go straight to the road. The dog park posse, we are worried some is going to get hurt in order for the police in Arlington to take action. Is this trend mutated where I live? Not too much. Not like that. Can we get some messaging out to parents to parent their kids better because we fear it's going to take a bad accident? He does write, on a side note, there's a small part that does crack me up because they ride in packs and look like 12-year-old biker gang. Have you dealt with this yet, Joshua?
We
the
see,
e-bike thing?
Actually, a lot of e-bikes and scooters by Polaris Mall. So now there's some residential development back there that was there, and they built the Costco out and they extended that road, and so the kids will come down there by the Costco out onto Gemini and whatnot over by Polaris Mall. It's insane.
It's just so dangerous, man. It's so dangerous.
Yeah,
to
it
be
is
on those roads.
There's no way that if I'm a parent, you can't let your kid do that over there. There's just too much traffic. Like, you are just asking for trouble.
It's bad.
You're asking for tragedy, really, is what's going to happen, unfortunately. This one from Quentin, the subject matter regarding the snooze. So I'm anti-snooze, Joshua. Where do you sit on snooze?
Some people are over the top with the snooze. I think one snooze is fine. Anything more than that, you're playing with fate.
And Bake, you're going to try it Saturday?
I don't believe I've committed to anything.
Come on, dude. You told me to give it a shot.
I said maybe. I don't know. I have the last 2 days only one snooze, so that was good.
I solved the snooze issue with the two oldest boys. I just go upstairs and pull the covers off.
Mm-hmm.
And then what choice do you have? This one from Quentin. Love the show. Listen every day. Typically when bouncing between job sites at work, your conversation regarding the use of the snooze on alarms made me deep dive on my own evolution and the subsequent trying to get away from it. I'm a man. I'm 40. And for the majority of the first 30 years of my life, I didn't use the snooze button at all. That all changed when I started dating a girl that was a serial snoozer. Amazing how quickly things changed with the influence of a love interest. That, in combination with the phones on the end table next to bed within arm's reach, had me hooked quite quickly. Travel down the road, and several girlfriends later, 12 years, and my current long-term girlfriend is not only a serial snoozer, but sets cascading alarms. I think 6 or 7. This is your thing, Bake. At 5-minute increments that all get snoozed. On up and out the door before the whole process starts, but on the occasion I take a day off and try to sleep in, there's no stopping that process. As is previously stated, amazing what the influence of a love interest can do, and things are in the works to transition that girlfriend title pending a home purchase currently in the progress. But breaking the snooze cycle is a high priority. Cheers, sir, and go Bucks. This is insanity. This is what you do, Bake. The 6 alarms every 5 minutes nonsense.
It is.
You're not getting better sleep. You're aware of that, right?
I'm not worried about the sleep, Bo. I'm just worried about getting up. That's it. And not...
No, you're not. Because if you're worried about getting up, just get up at the first one.
Yeah, but sometimes I'll sleep through it or turn it off, and I didn't even realize it.
Come on.
I've done that before.
You sleep through an alarm?
I had... Well, not sleep through, but I'll turn it off and not even realize I did it.
Yeah, I get that. I have my wife set a backup alarm if I have to be up super early, and I've got to be. The cascading alarms is insane behavior to me, though. It's absolutely nuts.
So I'm pulling out my phone now. Yeah. I have alarms on my phone always set for 45 of the hour, 57 of the hour. That's a broadcasting thing with your IDs. 12 of the hour and 24, and I have them spaced out like that, because they don't ever interact with each other. And the snoozes or the times they go off or whatnot, they're strategically picked.
This
seems like more work than just getting up.
It might be. And this is mostly, like I said, this is mostly carryover
right.
from 15 years ago when I was in broadcasting school, when I was getting 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep a night at most. I had to do everything I could to be proactive.
Outrageous. All right, a couple on the smell. I have limited taste and smell since my illness in February. And I talked about this off the top of the show. Peggy writing in, "Hey, Bo, I lost my taste and smell after my first bout of COVID. It took years to come back. That doesn't make me feel good. Most came back after I recovered, but some smells took forever to return. For the longest time, I could not smell poop or coffee. So to me, they smell exactly the same. When it started to return for about a year, poop smelled like burnt garlic. My husband loved it. He said he would drop silent but deadly farts during movie nights and in bed, and I was oblivious. Picking up dog poop was not a big deal. It was so weird. Love the show, Peggy." And P.S. she writes, "Joshua is the best." That's what, like when you guys asked, is it bad? No, it's not. Like feces doesn't smell bad. Like I can't smell when I pick up Buddy Garrity's, like the plunge toilet for one of the boys. I can't. It's fine. There's a smell, but it's not an unpleasant smell. So I guess maybe that's a positive. I guess theoretically I could use this to my best interest and just eat like absurdly healthy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one part about like trying to do the health food thing is your enjoyment is gone. But if you're not tasting and you're not really smelling, like just go ahead and do it.
Just go. Just the way it's going to go. This one from Roger. "I lost both smell and taste during COVID after testing positive around August 2020. It took almost 3 years to get some back. Some things smell what I remember, but very few things. The taste has been altered, and there isn't really anything that tastes like I remembered. I have the same problem with smelling milk, lunch meat to see if it's spoiled. Bacon doesn't smell and taste the same. It's a horrible feeling, and seriously, it is. It's crazy to not be able to smell and taste these things. I tried reteaching my smell with testers of lemon and lavender, etc. Nothing helped. I just come to convince myself it will never be like it was. I've even went to the ENT for help. Nothing came about it. Good luck on trying to fix your situation." Well, that sucks, Raj. That really sucks.
Yeah. It really does sound miserable.
Yeah, I'm not quite that bad. I can smell some things. Like if you put a lemon right in front of my nose, I can smell it. So there's some of it, but like layered tastes, I got nothing on layered tastes. This one from John, another one near and dear to my heart, school drop-off. He writes, "Eric, if you could ask Bo, I dropped my daughter off at Kaufman High School this morning, plenty early. There were a number of parents doing the same, so it was a steady flow of kids. Weather was great, no chance of that being an issue. Is it a foul if you sit and watch your kids get into the school and hold up the line? The drop area and school entrance is no more than 100 and 150 50 feet. My life issue of the day. In high school, I do have a problem with it, Joshua. At your kid's age, I don't. Is that fair?
No. I got a problem with it all the way around.
Oh, even at your age?
Yeah. Get out.
Is there an adult out there? There's got to be adults out there. As long as there's adults
out there. Of course there are. Like, I dropped you off. Like, if they can't get you into the school from there, it's like, well, we're going to be hunting for you because I don't know what happened in between that. But they're safe. They're in a controlled environment. Like, I am gone.
So if there are adults out there, then I think I am absolutely not for that. So when I drop off, there's adults until 41. And then they go in, and then the tardy bell rings at 50. So there's a 9-minute interval where there are no adults, and that's when you get the chaos. That's when you get people just letting little Timmy and Susie off at the front doors.
Why are adults not out there the whole time, though? Like, I feel like we used to have...
Because they got to go man their classroom.
But I feel like there were, like, older parents or volunteers that went out there and did that.
They have kids do it, and then they have, like, a couple of principals do it. I agree, Bake. I think they should keep the principals out there because you cannot trust people in this day and age to act in the best interest of society. People cannot be trusted to do the right thing. So I think you should have a principal out there until the tardy bell rings, and then everybody goes in. That's what I would do. I think that would solve it a little bit because you have people who don't pull up and do nonsense.
I also think the DNA of the parent volunteers has changed. It's like the overbearing parents probably spend a little bit too much time volunteering at the school, and then everybody else is just busy.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Shannon, loyal listener. At one point wanted to date Bake. Maybe still does. Uncle Bo. Like one of your recent emailers, I was an unexpected guest at a small keg party. I like where this is going. This past weekend, I accompanied my friend to Lexington and the University of Kentucky to explore and also watch her youngest daughter in the public practice as a newly signed UK cheerleader. When I texted my parents to remind them that I wouldn't be home for Mother's Day, my mom replied, "Have fun, stay away from keg parties, bar crawls, and beer pong." Parenthetically, I like your mom. On Saturday, my friend and I strolled around Lexington and the UK campus all day, and when headed back to the hotel, I spotted a small group of students sitting around a keg just hanging out. Remembering my mom text, I told my friend to pull over. She was confused, so I had to quickly explain the messaging to her. At first, she wouldn't stop. After more urging, she parked near the house. I jumped out. She wouldn't accompany me to the kegger as she was too embarrassed. The students were surprised when I walked up from behind their house and asked if I could join them. Again, I shared my mother's warnings, and they obliged with a picture, even though I committed a small party foul. After the picture, I excitedly thanked them and left. Mother's Day morning, I texted my mother the picture with the caption of "Celebrating you with kegs and eggs." She responded, "Where's the keg stand? My mom's the best, but she shouldn't know that I wouldn't want to outdo the co-eds. Thanks to you and the friends for keeping me informed and entertained in the mornings." I love that.
It's a great follow-up by mom. That's great follow-up.
That is great. That is great. I'm curious. Like, I'm getting close to the point where I would go to a keg party with NBC. Not in high school, obviously, but when he goes to college, like, that's not that far off.
You guys had one on your street last year.
Oh, my God, we did. That was 16 candles. That's what that was. That was just utter chaos. Get you updated on the PGA Championship taking place over at Aronimink. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Spring cleaning is when homes get a new twinkle in their eye,
a new spring in their step,
a new color in their cheeks.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
When that shiny truck from 1-800-GOT-JUNK arrives at your house,
it's a sign of a new beginning,
a clean start,
a breath of fresh air.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit us at 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, or struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
PGA Championship going on over at Aronimink. By the way, great name for a golf course. I don't even know what it means. I just like the sound of it. It feels pretty elite. Here is your leaderboard. Steven Jager is leading at 3 under. Bud Colley also at 3 under. In terms of guys that you would know, Sam Burns in the mix. He's a couple. He's 2 under. Xander Schauffele is 2 under as well. There's a group with Spieth, Rahm, and Rory. Spieth at -1, Koepka -1. Some other names that you would potentially know. Rory is at even. He's kind of battled it around, but kind of stayed in the mix with this thing going forward. Jason Day, our guy, is even as well. This thing teed off at 6:45 this morning. Okay? One of the reasons we were all told that they moved the PGA Championship to this time of year, there were 2 reasons. Number one, get away from football with the FedEx. They really want the FedEx Cup to take off, and they didn't want the FedEx Cup being contended up against football in September, so now they do it in August. Nobody cares. It hasn't worked at all. So that's part of it. The other part of it was they said they wanted to open this up to southeastern and southwestern golf courses. Well, the problem is there's no place in Florida that can host this thing that anybody wants to have a tournament there. And so far, they haven't done anything in the southwestern part of the country. So instead, what they have is all these northeastern courses again, like Baltusrol and all these ones that they played 1,000 times. They're now in this PGA Tour rotation. Do you know what the temperature was at 6:30 this morning outside of Philadelphia for round one of this sucker?
I'd love to hear.
51 degrees.
Yep, sounds about right.
51. And quite honestly, they're lucky. They're going back to Oak Hill, which is in Rochester, for this thing in a couple of years. There could easily be snow this time of year in upstate New York. What time do you think you have to wake up for a 6:45 tee time?
I was thinking about that. This would be a multiple alarm situation for sure. Like, I don't know. Too early.
I would think you'd want to be. Yeah, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
I would think you'd want to be there at least 2 hours before tee time. So you're on the driving range in the dark.
Yes.
For right away, the driving range is dark. I don't think you'd want to be there any later than 5 a.m. for a 6:45. I mean, you guys been to the Memorial Tournament. You see these guys' warm-up routines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like you and I just see on the first tee, haven't played golf in 6 months, expect to play good. Like, they have a whole routine.
Yes.
That builds towards playing. You play at 6:45 in the morning. That's an attention getter.
Yeah, I know some of these guys
51 degrees.
They like to move around and get a little, literally get a sweat like they're playing any other sport. Like, yeah, that is tough duty in the morning.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal going. This course looks cool, though.
I'm sure it does.
I wonder how, because we've heard of some of these guys like Tiger Woods and Vijay Singh in the past that just had these insane warm-up routines and what they would want to do and how regimented it had to be. I'm guessing if you were a 6:45, there's probably some of these guys that were up at 3:30 in the morning.
100%. Yeah, I would think
breakfast and doing what they need to do, and
you got to have multiple routines in that scenario. Like, there has to be just like a truncated base routine. Like, this is a minimum of what I have to do to be prepared to go out there and execute. It's like playing a noon game versus a 3:30 or a 7. What that morning looks like as a football player. Like, you don't get to do all the things that you would typically do, but you have to do certain things to be ready. And it would just feel like you can't be up at 3:45 a.m. Like, you just can't do that to yourself.
Function that way, can you?
No, I don't think you can do that to yourself.
But then, the scenario, I think you're right. You probably would have multiple ways of getting ready on short rest and those type of things, but you still need to be there at least an hour and a half.
I would say.
At least. And that's 5:15 on course. That's still a 4:30 wake up. Yeah. And at that point, how's that? You're still tired. That's always my thing to my wife. I'm like, you're all going to be tired. It doesn't matter. If you get up at 6:30 or 6:42, you're tired. They're both tired. You're never going to not be tired. I just had this conversation with the boys this morning. Like, they came just slunking down like slugs when I got them up at 6:45 because they were tardy earlier this week. And I'm like, we are in the car at 7:25, non-negotiable. I will leave your asses if you're not. And so they're like down at 6:45. Guys, they are sitting there as if this is the first time they've ever gotten up early. I said, guys, we've been doing this for 200 days. Like, you're not used to this yet? This is still, just shockingly tired that you can't even hardly move and you slunk around like slugs? Like, come on. Let's go.
What do they do to get ready to go to sleep? I feel like the underrated...
Ready to go to sleep?
Yeah, the underrated portion of this conversation is I don't think people have a sleep readiness routine that gets them into the mode where they can have the most restful sleep possible.
So this is what I do with my oldest. The little guys, it's just lights out, and they have like a noise machine thing, and it just kind of lights out, noise machine, and they're done. My oldest, and the middle one's getting there too because he's now 12, but my oldest is 14, and so they do so much social stuff on the phone at night, right? Like talking to his buddies, his girlfriends, whatever. So what I've done now is I'm old school. I still like a periodical, so I get Esquire and Rob Report.
Oh, there you
GQ.
go. I got all those.
I still like. I get like golf, the golf one. I still like feeling a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I said, listen, your phone is done at 10. All your electronics are shut off at 10 o'clock. What I did as a kid is I would read one story in Sports Illustrated before I went to bed every night. So I said, why don't you try this? So here are all the periodicals I get. Pick one and read something in it before you go to bed. And so he's been doing that for about 6 months. And I think that does work pretty good. Now, he will still try to sneak the phone in there, always. So I got to be diligent on that, especially if I'm having a cocktail and I lose track of what's going on. But that is the one that has worked for him.
The blue light is a deterrent of good sleep.
Yep.
And then you gotta have the room at the right temperature. Nice to maybe unwind, get some hot water running down your body. I'm not asking them to sit in a bath, but all those different things. And the point that I'm trying to make is there's a reason why they wake up early, like it's the first time. Mm-hmm. And when these guys have to go out there early, which is like everybody's going to be tired, but they're probably the least tired of anybody because all of that stuff is dialed into a routine. Like the golfers are just, they're meticulous.
Right. Yeah, they are. As you were saying that, I was just thinking about, and you still have little kids, I was just thinking about it in terms of a sleep routine. If an adult could be put to sleep like a baby, we'd all sleep like one.
Yeah, well, I can.
Just think about the process of it. Warm bath, like it's all warm and like dried off and all of that. Then lullaby, music, rocking, all of those things. And then a gentle placement into a bed. Who wouldn't sleep? Nice, cool room.
Be fantastic.
It's the perfect routine.
It is.
No wonder people are doing it for babies.
Yeah, and then we get away from it. And it's like,
we shouldn't.
Yeah, we're hardwired to we did these things for the first few years of our lives, then we just completely get away from it. And no wonder everybody's tired. Yeah.
It all worked. We got schedule release. Just got a text from a buddy. It's the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition coming as a one. That was one.
Yeah,
that was one. I had to sneak that one. And I did give one that. I bought one of those for NBC a couple of years ago, and I'm like, here, just for your viewing pleasure, just because I want him to have that experience.
No doubt.
That was the one that I tried to beat my dad to the mailbox. When that one used to come in February.
Oh man.
When I was young, they would try to hide it from me. Mm-hmm. But I would. I knew, like, by the time I got a little older, I knew when it was coming, and I was able to get there.
We used to get the Jet magazine, the Beauty of the Week, tearing that page right out of the magazine, taking that with me.
God bless your pop. God bless him. That's amazing. That's fantastic. NFL schedule drops tonight for the whole league. They've been leaking this thing out all week. I don't really care about who opens with what. I don't care about any of it. I'll be curious I'm very curious. The Bengals are going to Madrid because the Brown family are going to have to write a big check to cover those travel costs. And that's not something that I'm sure they're crazy about. But you got to put them up in a resort. You got to do all of those things. So that was interesting to me that they're going to Madrid. But what I'm interested in, Browns Bengals wise, I always look at it in tranches. So in a 16-game season, this 4-game tranche, this 4-game tranche, like what can the record be? I do like playing the schedule game. Do you guys?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, they'll win this, they'll lose that.
Yep.
Yeah, we did that last year, and I don't know if any of us were even close.
Probably not. We'll maybe do that tomorrow because that's tonight at 8 o'clock. You'll get your schedule release on the National Football League. Get your 3 things on a Thursday at Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Ready to move? Open an Ohio Homebuyer Plus account at CME Federal Credit Union and earn 6.5% APY for up to 5 years. Ready to buy? Lock in a 5-1 ARM mortgage at just 5% APR. Learn more at cmefcu.org.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot, hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there.
Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked.
So what do we do?
How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bid?
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
They've all been paid by the Cleveland Browns. This is Bishop and Friends.
Got this. We're making the comments about, and Josh, we were curious if they had 2 different preps for when they played. Paul Hobart, Golf Pro, says no, they go through full prep regardless of time.
Wow.
So if it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours. And you're there at for a 6:45 tee time, you're there at 4:45. You're up probably at 3:30.
Wow.
And then the next day it's flipped because the morning guys or afternoon guys tomorrow, I don't know how you sleep in that. They must get to the point where they can just kind of sleep whenever they need to, right? Just have routines, get 30 minutes or whatever that they need when they can get it, or maybe nap after the afternoon round. I don't know. But that makes it tough when you got that 6:45. Bake, what do you have in the poll today?
Today's Fan Poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. Do you care about the NFL schedule release? 25% say yes. 75% say no.
I think that's fair.
I certainly don't care.
If you're a season ticket holder, I think you want to know, like, what's my opener? When are my rivalry games? If you have an instance where a former player's coming back, that type of thing, I think maybe there's a little bit of interest in that. But I think that's probably fair. And it speaks to, just how big the NFL has gotten, that they've turned this into a thing a little bit.
I think that's the thing that bothers me the most is it's a reminder of what the NFL actually is, and it is something that just takes up all of the air in the room.
It does. Yeah, it absolutely does. It's just a behemoth.
I did see this. Bengals, Ravens, Thursday Night Football, New Year's Eve.
Oh, gross. They're playing New Year's Eve now?
New Year's Eve, Thursday night.
They just came for all. I mean, somebody in college football needs to be able to get into a room with Goodell and say, hey, we got to work together on this.
Agreed.
We're the best minor league system in the history of the globe. Let's work together on this a little bit and give us some time that can carve out to be a little bit of ours. And in exchange, we'll keep providing you with ready-made stars.
Yeah.
Time for 3 things on a Thursday.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, number 1 for me. I like dogs. We've had them our whole life. I have one now. He's great. It's gotten a little out of control about where people take their dogs, especially if they don't have a firm handle on it. I'm in a liquor store yesterday. I'm checking out. I feel something behind me, and then a dog, what is clearly a dog, jumps on the back of my leg and barks. I go, whoa! And I turn around, and it's a German Shepherd that's not full grown, but probably like 18 months, maybe a year, kind of a young guy. And I don't know, he doesn't probably wish me any harm, I don't think. I don't sense that that's it at all. And I go, whoa! And I look around, and I look at the guy, and the guy just stares at me. You're in a liquor store, dude. Leave the dog in the damn car if you can't control it. Like, and by the way, I grew up with dogs. I like them. I'm not fearful of them in any way. But if that were my wife, that doesn't end well for anybody involved. Like, you leave Fido in the car. Leave the window down. He'll be fine if you're making a quick run. Or just leave him at home. That's another option. This wasn't a seeing eye dog. It wasn't a support dog. It was a dog on a leash that the guy couldn't handle.
I'm so with you. Like, animals in places that serve food is not okay to me.
Oh, agree. Wholeheartedly.
Not okay to me.
Adam King shared a story about this. He takes his dog everywhere. Took him to the store to get a new golf club. So it's
the least surprising thing ever out of him.
I totally agree with that. All right, my first thing, we went to Olentangy lacrosse game last night. My younger brother is one of the coaches. It was their last home game, so we wanted to show some support. As we all know, it got a little bit chilly last night, so we're all bundled up. And then James wants to take his jacket off. So we take the jacket off. I keep trying to put it back on him. No. I said, James, why don't you want to wear your jacket? And he looks me dead in the eye and says, I want to freeze. And so we let him freeze.
I love James. I never even met him, but I love him. Second thing for me, it has to do with lacrosse as well. Bo, I've talked many times before. One of the things I love about what I do with high school sports and the OHSAA and our show here on The Fan is getting to know some of these athletes and then follow them throughout their careers a little bit, where they go to college and where they move on to the pros if they do. Unfortunately, one player I lost until recently was Blake Island, and he was a kid that was a quarterback at Delaware, started as a freshman his first 3 years, and then he went away, and I wasn't sure what happened with him. Well, I found out this week that he moved on to Western Brown because he was a big lacrosse recruit, Western Reserve up by you.
Oh, yeah, Western Reserve, yeah.
Then he heads to Ohio State, and he just finished his career at Ohio State, and he got drafted this past weekend in the PLL draft. So,
oh my gosh,
congratulations to Blake Island and Coach Nick Myers. Also, Cullen Brown got drafted as well, so 2 Buckeyes in the PLL.
Very, very cool. Number 2 for me, speaking of cold, I was not prepared. When I headed out yesterday afternoon, it was like in the 60s. By the time I got to NBC's game, it was like 51 and windy. And all I had was a vest. I'm not proud of this. But I watched the game in what I call a cape and what you might refer to as a mambi. Thank God there's no photographic evidence.
Oh, man. Yeah, yesterday was a hard one to get prepared for. I almost walked out the house without a jacket. I would have been.
Yeah, it's like May.
Miserable.
What are we doing?
It's May. What are we doing? All right, my second thing. AI posts on social media are getting too far out of control. And, Bo, I'm going to pick on you. This is mostly your generation right now that's doing this.
I think that's fair.
But everything has to have some sort of AI element. Now we're seeing these templates for when you're trying to advertise an event or something that's going on, and it's clearly AI. And I'm tired of seeing it. What happened to our ingenuity and our creativity and our ability to work on our own as a society? It's gone.
It's gone, buddy.
So this wasn't going to be my second thing, but it will now. And I understand that this has been a chilly May for normal. This is the longest we've gone into May without an 80-degree day in the month of May. It's going to be 90 on Monday, and I'm going to hate all of you complaining about this right now.
Number 3 quickly for me. I'm kind of with you guys on schedule release. It doesn't really matter that much to me, but I will say for the people in NFL media rooms, this is their Super Bowl. And I do love seeing the creativity that the teams put out in their schedule releases. So good luck to all those who participate.
All right, my third thing, I'm going to say the exact opposite. I hate seeing the schedule release content. It feels so overdone. It's rarely engaging to me, and I'm just going to turn the phone off today.
Your beloved Chargers do it pretty well, though.
Yeah, they do, but they're about the only one. Everybody's chasing them, and it's not working.
It seems about the only thing they do well. They can't win in the playoffs, so sorry. I had to take a Justin Herbert shot. Rothman and Ice, the gang is back together. Cole is back. Matty Ice is back. AR is here. They'll have Berm at 1 and Pete Futek on at 2:30.
You have that to look forward to, which is nice. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Tinny.
Weekdays from 3 to